Oh, that's a very epic intro song. My goodness. The title is no joke. My city is losing money, and I'm not entirely sure what to do. I thought maybe I would dive into it tonight, and if anybody sees any mistakes over my shoulder, they can yell at me in chat. We shall see what happens. Hello, Kanga. Welcome. How are you? Is it still light there? No. Sun is set by now. You showed up on time for once? Why not? It's bound to happen sooner or later. Are you ready to put your troubleshooting hat on, Kanga? Because honestly, I need help. How did I hand into negative cash flow? So that's the thing. The city grew and grew and grew. And right now we're actually getting through a death wave. We've had some bad death waves. So I had to knock the music's very loud in my headset. Is it very loud? I'm going to bring it where it's not peaking above 30. It's too it's way too, the nonstop strings. I feel like I'm in a sci-fi movie. Hold on. Okay. It is a lot of skulls. So, I mean, we could just deal with it and troubleshoot our economy flat, which is to say, let's not worry about the death wave right now. I had turned on all these buildings. That was the skyline from the, that was the skyline that I worked on from the last episode. Because they're completely dark at night if you don't enable them, unfortunately, which is okay. It makes sense, but they're not the biggest offenders in terms of budget, at least for the most part. The skyscrapers are like $380, $512. Okay, a little bit of money there. $192. What is this? So $640. I don't think any of the skyscrapers are over 1,000. When we come down here though and look at buildings like, I believe this is the Grand Library, that's 1,000 a week. 256 for the aquarium. What's the Posh Mall? Another 7. The Expo Center's another 1,000. Like, is this doing enough for our town? Like, can I see its direct effect on the budget? I can't, right? Like, I need that kind of full breakdown. I need to really be able to understand it. They're not giving me the detail that I need. I needed an accountant DLC. Gotta get a CPA plugin. Then again, I saw what they did with the increased complexity of the simulation in 2, so never mind. I take it back. Roll it back. So where the hell is my money going? Let's see here. This is nothing, right? This is just a one-off. That certainly won't spread. Right? Oh, I realized I had the game sound down all the way as well, so we don't hear any of the city's noises there. A little bit of background city noise. Make sure that we don't have radio on. Okay. Hello. Just in time for fire. Okay, AC, we're troubleshooting. We're still like we're getting our troubleshooting hats and caps and pants on. And I'm about to dive into the city economy. I'm bracing myself for it. So I always do want to mention this because someone invariably will wonder, like, is this part of your problem? And technically not. These icons, these gold, what are they? Are they boxes? Presents for the commercial sectors? Basically is saying not enough buyers for products. So we are producing either locally with wood or like oil. We're importing and then producing into what does oil do? Plastics and petroleum. So we're doing all that processing here, and then we've got these goods, in this case plastics, that need to be sent out. And are you kidding me?
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
At least they put that one out quick. There was a helicopter like on top of that one. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. No big deal. No big deal. I am not abusing parks, and I think is that part of my problem. I have a city of the scale that I'm not abusing the parks mechanic on. Okay, so that is an obvious problem that is not that much of a problem. It's too much of a specific good. Sneakers get either exported or sold out to the stores. And then all these goods get sent on further down the production chain. So anything that is produced with primarily those ingredients, so in this case, petroleum and plastics are both produced here in this zone. I import, or not import, but I send the paper and crops from other areas of the map. In this case, petroleum plastics get stored locally and then get sent elsewhere for the other supply chains. But that's the industries being set up like this, all at the factories all being 150% production rate. Like I was making tons and tons of money with that for the longest time. I don't think that is the problem, but I would entertain backing the production chain down if we thought it was worth it for the troubleshooting. You can see that our production value is 18,000. Material cost is 4,000. So we're making money there. The question then becomes, I guess in theory, if we're sitting here too long, not able to sell off those goods, I mean, we're kind of stuck and full and we're not making more goods. So I don't think it's costing us production. Like it's not more material costs because we just like stop producing it until the building's empty. Okay, so we're going to seriously consider the park. The other place that we need to consider, right? If I'm going to do that, all the people that pour in and out of the stadiums. Look, here we go. All the people that pour in and out of the stadiums for games, they come mostly from this. There you go. They come mostly from here. So we could move this a little bit. It would be a nightmare actually though. We could put a park halfway through here. Like this could be a park that they have to walk through and pay a toll. I guess we could do the same thing over here. But correct me if I'm wrong, a park can't exist where a campus exists. So I have to like carve a park out of the campus. I'm pretty sure, right? Because if I go to paint a park tool, I can't because there's already, yeah. So we'll have to carve out. Some pedestrians will go this way, up to the metro station that is up here, or the other one that is. Where's the other one? Right up the hill here. So we get some traffic there. We could definitely get all these pedestrians coming into the games to pay that much more money. Decoy, what's up? Welcome. Do we have ticket prices for these, or are these somewhere else? Are these like in the policies of the school? And like, how much are we spending on like all this cheerleading and the coaching staffs? Like, look at the upkeep on this. We're spending. Here's the thing though. Okay, let's take a step back. What caused the trash icon on those buildings? Yeah, I guess that could be it. We could be having some traffic issues. We should probably troubleshoot that. You're right. Here's the thing though. Like, look at what is education doing? So income, 107,000, expenses, 62,000. So like, is all that included? Is this education technically, since it is part of my campus? And then is this a completely separate expense? $7,000 a week. What? For a stadium I can't even walk on the grass because I fall through it? That's insane. We have our entire collegiate program. Well, not quite, but like that's still a lot. That's still a lot for one stadium. Can we see what it's doing for? That's routes. What is the justification for this expense? I guess it's the money that we're making. We're paying $7,200 a week, but we're playing one game a month and we skipped September. Like, is that worth it? Do we turn this off and just like let it go dilapidated because the major league team moved out because we wouldn't fund it? Because this is insane. There's no safety equipment. You know what? The townsfolk have petitioned to close this dangerous stadium. This stadium has been condemned. Okay, well that was easy. That's step number one. We just saved $7,000 a week. That's crazy. Okay, hold on a second. Can somebody do the math for me? Because I am not good at this. Where's my CPA? Kanga, surely you can help me with this. If we have a game on June 3rd, let's just look at 3 months that we do play. We skipped May. We skipped February. Like, why are we even playing in the baseball in the winter? Swedes, man. Okay, so if we're playing one game a month, what are those two numbers? We won 280,000, but we're also 86,000 in the green no matter what. We're just making more if we win. Is that money worth it? $364K a year for 3 won and 2 lost. 364K a year. I mean, I guess, right? If we're getting that win bonus, it helps. I guess it does pay for itself technically. But man, that's a lot of money. That seems like an awful lot of money. That's so much upkeep. When the city is slowly, and I don't want to say going broke, but like we're slowly bleeding money. And if we ignore that, it becomes broke. You don't get to be a trillionaire by giving away money. That is not the business that we are in. And technically we're just trying to become billionaires. Which the long, slow struggle bus to $1 billion should help some people understand how far off $1 trillion is. And why maybe Elon didn't need that payday. And why maybe he may not know what he's talking about when he thinks work will be optional one day. Dude, work's optional right now. Stop working. You're screwing it up for everybody else. Excuse me. Okay. So we saved $7,000 a week on the stadium, which is good. That's good. What are these guys? $640 a week for the department store that now will be a lot less. This whole place is going to get dilapidated over here. Do we have like raise the taxes and abandon this area? That could be kind of fun. The stadium goes out of business and all this stuff goes out of business too. Solve some of our traffic problems. Speaking of, let's take a look at traffic and then we'll dive more into it. Okay. I'm just for the sake of, I was gonna say continuity, but not really chronological order. Let's start back where we started. So like, this is the start of the city. Back here in the Colline Francesi, which is on fire. Oh, no big deal. It's just a Colline Francesi on fire. How long have I had starting soon up? The whole time?
That's hot.
No big deal. We're started officially now. The poor trees. The poor trees are just gonna burn. No one cares about them. Is this 2 businesses? Okay, no. We're good. Everything's fine over here. Everything's fine. Thank you for the Elmos members. Appreciate you. So traffic-wise, nope, that is drive. We want info views. We're at 89% overall. Doesn't mean we don't have problems. It means that we're doing all right for 113,000 town with no mods, right? So where is traffic? Traffic coming in and out of the industrial area. It's not back to the intersection. It's just slow. Like if we sat here for a while, it would probably back up worse. The red is indicative of traffic, but not necessarily actual agents on the road showing that traffic. It does get worse as they back up. So we could look at some of this, but like this isn't a heavy industrial pocket, as you can tell from the pollution. So like it's not that bad it's not that bad. It's all right. It's all right. I mean, can you leave the coal? You're talking to the fire about the coal line Francesi, right? It's not me. I want it to be okay. This is our home. What's with all the death? Jesus. Okay, we're gonna go into economy, and the thing we're not gonna troubleshoot about the economy right now is the health budget. That's going all the way up. What the hell is going on? Okay, let's just take a quick peek at that. So we've had some horrible death spikes over the years. The worst one sometime early 2200. But we're just climbing up and up and up, and maybe we can't handle our death volume anymore? With the current infrastructure? Is that what it is? Death care. So what do we got over here? This is a crematorium. We have 3 crematoriums over here. Did these have less vehicle support? Did they not say how many vehicles they support? Am I missing that on the screen somewhere? Or is it the hospitals? Is it hospitals that send out hearses? And then they send them to the junkyard technically? Or do they originate from the cemeteries? They originate from cemeteries, right? It's death care. Man, the death. Okay, so let's look at this. If we inspect these buildings, it should tell us how many they have, right? This one. So this has 19 hearses. We're storing 1 of 200. What do we do with them? We removed the body. Did somebody get cured? What just happened? Deceased stored. Do they get sent to the cemetery automatically? Like, what is the point of a crematorium that then sends the... Is somebody doing something funny with the ashes? What is going on? I don't understand. Deceased stored. What are we doing? Oh, I guess we're burning them and people are picking them up, taking them home. What am I thinking? Am I that stupid? We don't need to store them. People want to bring them home. They're in the houses. Okay, well that's great. So that's $1,200 a week upkeep on those. How much is it to throw your loved ones in the ground? 160. Demolished. Goodbye, crematoriums. I'm sorry, but that is no longer an option in the city. We only allow burial of the dead for cost-saving purposes. And when the cemetery gets full, we're gonna sinkhole it. I wouldn't worry about it. Okay, so let's get rid of those because that is an unnecessary waste of money. That's crazy. That's crazy. 240 a week. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's only 13 hearses though. How much are the old crematoriums? How much are these things? Wait, what? Hold on a second. Oh, because I have my budget up, don't I? I was like, why is this costing me 240 a week when it says that it should be costing me whatever, 160 a week? And it's because I got my budget up. It's because we're solving our death problem in multiple ways. We're solving our budget problem and our death problem by putting in fresh cemeteries and removing crematories as an option. This is fine. This is fine. So this is all hooked into here. Oh, do we just disconnect this? Okay. Your family doesn't pay, they dig you up. I mean, to be fair, we're going to dig you up anyways, so... Actually, I take it back. No, you should pay. We totally won't dig you up. It's totally fine. Okay, so... agonizing look at death care. What else do we have? So we have a cemetery here. I feel like that should be enough. We'll see if we get bodies piling up. We have a cemetery and 2. So what are these? $720 per week versus the DLC stuff, which is $800 per week. Man, I'm gonna like this was not part of my problem. I had these going. These were my little setups here. 2 crematoriums. Where is it? Over here? Yeah, 2 crematoriums and a cemetery. Like the city made $400 million with that kind of a scheme. So we can certainly do that, but I'm going to stay away from those extra buildings. Do I have no death care up there? Wait, no, that's hospital. Do I have no hospital up there? That's a different problem. That's a different episode. Okay, let's see. So every major neighborhood should have one. These ones, which are, I guess, a little bit heavier, do have the, 2 crematoriums with each? Those have those. So are we okay up here? I'll probably end up moving these around because this does not really belong here, but this is covering this area. It seems fine right now. Or not. Like the death rate is crazy. Why is it? Why? Slow down, everybody. Slow down. Okay, so let's go look at the income and expenses, I guess. So I do have a bunch of level 4 high-rise band residential. If I technically historical all those buildings, it's a big pain in the ass on console, but we could then let them upgrade to 5 and they won't change their appearance. And that would technically generate more tax income. So we could squeeze a little bit of money out there, but that is, I don't think that's what's breaking the bank unless there is a huge difference between level 4 and level 5 tax income. Does anybody know if that is a significant difference? I bet that it is not. Maybe if you have a city, you can boot up and tell me if you have both. Apparently I only have level 4 because I've high-rise banned and moved in skyscrapers manually, I guess. So university is making 109,000, which is great. We're spending... Well, actually, no, wait. University is making 109,000 by itself. That's just the university. Education expenses overall are 62,000. Does that include the Hadron Collider, which technically is taking the place of all my schools, which should all be turned off? So income. We don't have any standard, like old school specialized industries. 4 industries are doing good. So if you look, industries second from the bottom in the income column, 226,000 current profit to 133,000 current expense. Now that is going to vary wildly depending on how badly backed up we are from a delivery perspective. So like if we've got a ton of stuff backing up, we're going to be making a little less money right now because we're not selling it. No one's buying it. It's waiting to go out essentially. I wonder if I have messed with too many warehouses. I could start messing around with that, but I had zones that were running into problems that weren't getting enough goods, and for the longest time my city was fine with just one. Where the hell is it? Right here. So if you ever run into the problem post industries update of not having enough goods to sell, and if you have industries, you can drop a warehouse in, set it to fill zoned industry goods, and basically you won't export any of those goods. So when your city's complaining like, I don't have enough goods to sell, some of the industries are like, I could send it over there, I could just ship it off map, that way it's closer, and they just ship it off map and export it. I was like, well, no, don't do that yet, we need that here. Riverrun first, as it were. So that helped, but then I started having that problem crop up again, and I wish, can you look at just warehouses? That's not like a view, is it? Fishing industry, financial, hotel, industry areas. That's the old school. Right? That's not, is that? Oh no, it is. It is my area. It highlights those areas. Okay. Why is this an industry area technically? Why is that lit? Oh, because it's the same tool that does it. You can't have a park over an industry. I guess that makes sense. So the industries are making money. If we go back in, here, is that pollution? No, that's dirt. Okay. If we go back in, industry's 319,000 income now. So like now we're over 200,000 profit on industries right now. So again, it fluctuates pretty wildly depending, but we should, for the most part, be in the profits. Did I turn down my health already? I left it up. What the heck? Okay, so it's okay if you dislike the simulation. Set the warehouse with the rail. One of the warehouse with rail. Specialized goods and fill to make fast cash. Wait, how does this work? The warehouse with rail, specialized goods. What specialized goods though? Because I'm already producing them. Set it to fill to make fast cash. If all your others fill, it will get it out. Oh, okay. It'll export, you're saying, at that point. And maybe like we could be making more on export, but like we're doing pretty good. Like it was up at 311, now it's at 255, so we're still 130,000 above the expenses for that. Where are our big expenses? We're spending a little bit of money on hotels. That doesn't seem worthwhile. That seems like private businesses should own those. We're spending a good amount of money on transportation. 43,000 on transportation. What am I doing there? Healthcare's jacked up right now because of the deaths. But what am I doing at 43,000 on transport? We might have to back some lines down. And does anyone know, do the larger trains cost more money? Because that could be it. Okay, transport routes. We got a bunch of nonsense bus lines. Are these expensive? Like, how much does a bus line and all the buses cost? Can we see the expense of these things? We can see the number of vehicles overall. That's not 41. Is it 41 buses on a bus line? 41 buses on a bus line? What the actual hell? What the actual hell is this? What the actual hell is this? This is 100% default bus, 30 capacity, vehicle count modifier 100. I'm gonna give you 41 buses on a route. You idiots. What is this bus line? Where does this bus line go? What's it go to? It goes to the stadium? Does this move any people? Weekly pass. Okay. What should budget go skyrocket into the green? Okay, well, that was not needed and certainly causing traffic for absolutely no value. Like, take the metro. That's crazy. 41 vehicles, 37 What is going on? Why is it inverse of the demand? Here's a bus line with 239 passengers, 11 vehicles, 100% vehicle count modifier. But this line over here that is also set to 100% with the same capacity buses. 30 vehicles. What is this? Hey, Tantalus, while you're busy cramming more DLC down our throats, maybe you could fix crap like this in Remastered. Maybe that would be awesome. I don't know. Maybe fix the terrain bugs introduced from you know what, and I can tell you about the specific feature if you want to talk about it. Hit me up. Maybe know more about what they messed up with this. The Tantalus does at this point. There's probably nobody left there from the original. Who's left? Are the original people working on Remastered still there? Could you finish fixing the bugs that are in the game, please? Like, what is going on here? Okay. I'm gonna look at these bus lines. We're gonna keep the school bus lines, which it looks like this is one. And this has people on it at least. Holy crap, there's gonna be a homunculus here. Nobody there, 158 people here. 228 people there, there's a good one. 310, holy cow. Okay, so they like this bus route. Where is this bus route? It goes to the school and covers the main neighborhoods, the original neighborhoods, Franklin Hills. But that's 11 buses. Like, they all are full of people. I'm okay with that. That's great. This is bad. Like, they will just wait there forever. Is this where my people are not making money? They're waiting for the bus. They're waiting for the bus and not paying taxes and stuff. We are 71,000 in the hole right now. Yeesh, yeesh. Hold on. We're going down there. One-time speed. Let's make it a little less chaos. So I don't know if anyone's like, if you're a PC player, you haven't really been able to get down here and do this without a mod. But like, they stop moving. They stop, like, there's only so much that can be calculated at once. I don't know if everybody saw Rick and Morty with like the aliens and the simulation, and like it can't handle simulating that much at once. And what's his name? He's driving around listening to human music. It's the boops and beeps. Basically, this is what's happened in the simulation. This is human music. Bus, you can pull off. I don't think any of them are capable of moving at this point. Is this bus stuck? Is that why? This bus hasn't moved, has it? Okay, 3 times speed. There we go. Okay. Okay. Did you get kicked out only because the next bus was coming? Do they not? Are these bus lines broken? Does this bus line not move until the next bus comes? Okay, no. All right. I thought I was onto something. I am not. Okay. Well, while we're down here, no, back into. So we got to delete a couple of these lines. Like, what the hell is this? Where does this go? Look at these buses. Like, what are these buses doing? They're just going back and forth to downtown. Like, we could take a. That's pointless. That could be a subway. I don't know if we're saving a lot of money, but like, how could we not with 37 vehicles? Like, it doesn't make any sense. What is going on here? Like, hey, there's not much of a wait. That's the good news. The bad news is there's 17 buses in a row with 0 people on them. This is also really annoying because like you can only hit up from certain buses apparently. It's like you have to go down because like once I go over, I can't go back up. It's weird. Okay. No, don't increase the vehicle count. No, don't increase the vehicle count. Delete the line. Okay, this one also has 30 vehicles on it and probably an equally pointless. Oh, this one comes to the school, but it is not a school bus route. Whatever, there are 2 school bus routes there, so I'm going to delete this one as well. We've reduced so many freaking buses. Okay, we have 3 bus. Oh, we have 3 bus lines that come in there. Exactly. Oh, there they are. Each school and the community center in the middle, which even though it is turned off, people still park at like crazy, which is awesome. It still makes it look busy. If I end up doing another build on PC, I'm going to find some safety netting and fix all these parks. They're going to get fences and walls and safety netting. The people that sit behind here aren't going to get killed for coming out to the park. Okay, we're 40,000 in the hole now. We've cut 1,000 off of our transport budget. Okay, I'm going into cinematic mode. Chat, give me ideas. What am I doing? What do we not check? Traffic's not too bad. I don't think we have any major problems there. I don't think we have any issues with industries. Campus is making money. We could look at... I gotta look at the uniques. I feel like I haven't run into this problem before. Like, I've always had successful cities. Is anybody else having this problem post the last update? Like, they didn't break something with the last round of DLC, did they? That would be fun. If it's, like, tougher to get profitable cities now. Like, I seem to think, like, I kind of knew what I was doing, and I didn't think, like, expanding the city would break it that much. But who knows? Here we are. The municipal buses, you get 10. You're supposed to come every 10 or 20 minutes, but you get 3 every 2 minutes and then none for an hour. Whoops. Had this problem in the big city. I just made a big change slightly too fast, and then the budget just kind of broke. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Because, like, here's the... Here? City info. Budget, right? That's the money in the bank, technically. So like, I was over 400 million, and then around that time, do you see that spike of 400, where it was at 400, then it drops? Like, look at the population changes around that time. Look at the, oh, death rate won't stack there because the budget is so disgustingly huge. But there was a huge, I moved out a ton of people. I moved out a ton of people at once to reconfigure a major part. But look, it started climbing again, and we got over 400 million again. Or city budget, I'm sorry. We should look at city treasury, because, like, right? Like, making money. Big death wave, major construction in the middle there, that little low. But back to making money again, and now I just, like, I cannot get this budget on a climb again. Do I have to move a bunch of people out and trim back my city? I'm getting stumped. I know when it happened, but I'm not entirely sure how to recover from it. I mean, demand-wise, I'm not really helping things out, right? Like, there's plenty of demand that I'm not meeting right now, but I'm not sure which way to meet it and what I want to fill out. There's a fishing industry there. I think it just does it get looped into the other industry stats? I don't even know. Hard to scale down since the industry and commercial end up with too much production and not enough staff. But that's the thing is, like, I had the industry is like, I did spreadsheets. I took the spreadsheet and recalculated everything for 150% production, and that was making money. That was part of that climb. The industry hasn't changed. The only thing that I've had to change as a result is more generic industry to also make some goods in town, because I didn't have enough stuff to sell. But maybe I back that down and change it back to office? I don't know. I was thinking about today, for those of you that care, and certainly members who contribute directly, I'd be interested to know. Like, what are your thoughts? I was hesitant to pay for... I don't have City Skylines Ultimate anymore. I was hesitant to pay $40 to get it back. But I was wondering, I'm not doing it from I want to create a cool new Let's Play and develop Cities 2 content. I kind of just want to do it to document the state of the game where it is now. I kind of, I was going to do a video that, this is the Ultimate Edition. But I don't own the Ultimate Edition. So do I spend $40 to get it back? I don't know. It's all mixed or mostly negative DLC. It seems like a waste to come to this conclusion. I'm probably already aware of the where I'm going to arrive. Yeah, I got to look at scaling down though, to some extent. I knocked out a bunch of water pipes. For example, I had way too much water over on one of the islands. I'm thinking of condensing the theme park into the zoo area and just putting them right next to one another. One highway exit, one train stop. Just easier. I don't know that solves a monetary problem as much, but any way that you're not spreading out, you're not doing road infrastructure, you're not doing pipe infrastructure. I mean, all of it technically costs. So if you overbuild, that's a pretty good view right there. That's all right. It needs some work here and there, but it's starting to come together as a vision. If we could just make it not go broke and instead become billionaires. I mean, depends how many views you think you'll get whenever that offset the cost. And that's the thing, I'm not necessarily looking to, I'm not looking to make the money back on it necessarily. I'm more thinking for example, you have invested in the channel quite a bit. Do you think I should put $40 to documenting that and to experiencing it for myself? Or do we just look at it through the lens of the base game is boring and all the DLCs are mixed or mostly negative? Or is it kind of like when someone's like, oh my God, this is terrible, try this. And you're like, how terrible could it be? Oh my God, this is awful. Like, they told you, you just kind of wanted to find out. And I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence of wanting to find out how terrible it is. In the meantime, I got to write this down before I forget. I know I've talked about this. I'm leaning towards another build soon. And it's either going to be New Boston. I was thinking maybe Plainville Remastered, but are there 9-tile builds that anybody wants to see a new build of? Because Plainville was, I loved Plainville so much, I wouldn't mind going back through and adding the DLC back in a similar way, but doing it in 25 tiles. Good question. I offer often Cheeky something that I don't like to eat, and he is confused why I would do that. I mean, sometimes you do hit very different on tastes, as the breadcrumbs would clear up. For all the times you agree, there's the oddity. Hard to go back to 9 tiles after 25? I know. Although, hold on a second. How hard is it really? No, I do kind of want to peek real quick though. Games and apps. Is it updated? It must be updated, right? I would have to go back and look at some of the maps. Looks like Plainville was the last thing I was loaded into. Plainville was high on my list of things. All my cities on 9 tiles have no open space. Everything is crammed in there. Yeah. I started trying to feather them off a little bit, but it's still like always left me wanting more, and like you can't really do it right. 25 tiles, I think you can kind of get that. Let's see what happens if we go look out at 9 tiles. Like, actually, you know what? I don't know. That's not terrible. We've constrained most of the build, but like look at what you could do with that space. You could build all the way up to that highway, basically, right? You could build up to the other side of that. Look at that! Look at that roller coaster! Look at that road! Oh my God! Yes, go fix all that crap. Hopefully it doesn't leave you wanting too much offside the map. I wonder what these, I gotta go look at what some of these maps did on the tier list for 25 tiles. Oh my God, why did I think this was okay? What year was this? What year was this bypass? Was this was here in the map, right? And then I put this in here? Yeah, I added this. This was the old bypass that was in the map. Oh my God. Oh wait, I hear music. I had double music going, sorry. I liked Plainville. Plainville was a fun build. I really love this configuration of the one-way roads with the tram track only up the middle. The trees. It's a very chill little spot, and it runs all the way through, separating the center of the map from the residential on the outside. Bunch of nonsense though. A lot of stuff that was not finished cohesively. School really crammed in here. We're not even in school, is it? Oh no, it is. Yeah, wow. I did not really mess around with that enough. That needs a remaster for sure. See, these are abusing the parks for sure. Oh, this is doing it as well. I remember dropping this in the giving people a way to park and then giving them new entrances for walking through a park to get to the other parks. In theory, they're coming into the city. They're paying to walk through that park to pay to enter the zoo. That we need more. That's what we need in Riverrun. So this could be a fun, let me see, this could be, no, not free camera. This could be a fun build to spread out. We could basically go out to that solid line, right? We could go one row out, everything you see in the like the lit up green, which was a potentially available tile, right? Right, if this is a 3x3, this is the 5x5 around it. So, you know, you could build off in any direction. We chose to build in the center here. This is going to be interesting though. Like, where does this cut off? If we don't go too high into those trees, that actually is pretty good. You kind of keep the shoreline the same here. Maybe a little bit of an industrial port on one side over there. Okay. Why? Why is it going to burst into flames the second I get in here? I do not even remember building some of this. I do not remember building Lake Hills with a park up the middle. When did I do that? I don't remember that. It's so disconnected. It needs like connective tissue coming up from the central park, if anything. That's weird. Okay. Sorry, just looking at old builds here. But Plainville is one that I really wanted to redo, and I think it's got kind of a cool map for it. I started building Meander in a 9 tile? Why? Why would I do that? Greenwood. This was a fun build. This might be a good one too for a new 25 tile. Because what was remastered? Meander and Riverrun my only remasters, technically, that I can show. Ugh. This was what the build was about. Oh my god, not the problems. That's the Heart of Korea when that came out, I think. Yeah. But this is what it was all about, was a minimal traffic island. So you have the main highway coming through. There's a diamond interchange here, handling traffic well enough. Why is the radio unique to City Save? That's stupid. Yeah, I mean, I did the Meander build, and like I kind of flaked out on it. I think around episode 12 was it, and I was like, this is still so broken. I tried to upgrade the zoo and amusement park, and it kept crashing progress on me, and it was just so frustrating. And that was when I was like, I think I'm done doing videos for Remastered for a while. And somewhere in the back of my mind at the time, hoping like, that's okay, because Cities 2 is coming. And here I am 2 years later playing and talking about the bugs in Remastered. But this is what, all Green Cities stuff, the new wall-to-wall stuff. This was when Plazas and Promenades came out, and we checked out all the walking paths and roads, trams everywhere, pedestrians, just like no cars, very little cars, I should say. Like you got taxis, hearses, service vehicles. That's it. Everybody else is walking around or taking a tram. Or do we have the world's largest? No, I was gonna say the world's largest pedestrian bridge, but that's over in Wood Garden. This is unfortunate. And this is what I'm talking about. The terrain issues. I really wish they would fix this. You shouldn't be able to see through there. And it would take an absolutely insane amount of rebuilding this terrain. Like I know how to fix it, but like you have to raise the terrain, place a road, delete the terrain, level the terrain, replace the road. And it may or may not work when you go to try and put a key wall this close. And it has actually moved over time as well. They've changed it a little bit. Where it gets worse. It got worse than it was. It was actually better than this at one point. I wouldn't have left an entire side of my city like that. Anyways, that's Greenwood. That was a fun one, but not necessarily one that I would try and rebuild one-to-one, but this might be a cool one size-wise, I wonder. So you can't go down further, but you could go up 2 more, up into the deltas. So that's interesting. It's not much more buildable space. It's one of the things I like about maps like this is they constrain the idea. But this was like the start. Like, this is cool. Or not necessarily, maybe not cool. But I kind of like how this came out for the most part. And then the rest of it is just a bunch of disconnected ideas. I did a Financial Districts DLC over this way, deleted it all because it was horrible. I did the Heart of Korea and whatever else came out at the same time. I don't even know. Something else over here. It's called the Whale because it's kind of got a whale shape. I don't even know if you can see it without the... It's easier to see with the lights on at night. Adia, what's going on? Are we still losing money? This isn't Riverrun, no. I know, I jumped in. We were talking about 9 tiles and potentially remastering. I got sidetracked, go figure. Yeah, no, we're having a money problem in Riverrun for sure. It's bad. It's bad. I don't know what to do. There's also a death wave happening. That's been going on all night. Do we have another full cemetery over here? Sure do. Death cure. Okay. So I think we still have the budget up on that as well, which is mildly concerning. So we just have so many people dying. We also haven't looked at any of the death care coverage on this side of the map. It's rough. I might have to try and trim back the city a little bit. Or build it aggressively faster into the future. I'm not sure. One or the other. This song is way too calm for a house fire. This is pretty calm too, but it's a little bit better. Hopefully a helicopter. I was gonna say hopefully a helicopter's coming because there's no fire trucks in sight. Does anyone know in Cities 2, did they ever add these animations? I don't think that they did. Like, fire trucks would just pull up and pull away. There was no animations, which is kind of sad. I'm hoping they fixed that, but I obviously don't play Cities 2 enough to know. Okay. So, Adia, here's a fresh look for you. Ready? We're spending a buttload on the death wave right now, so don't worry about healthcare. If you look down the left-hand side of the income column, industries in particular, 314,000 profit right now to 122,000 expense. The expenses stays pretty similar. The profit will fluctuate wildly depending on production chain and what needs to be delivered, but it doesn't usually dip down. Industries does not seem to be our problem. Education as well either doesn't seem to be the problem because universities making 113,000 is our only income. We don't have other schools turned on. We've got the Collider. And the cost overall is 62,000 to us. So we're making money off education. We were looking at some of the transport costs. I wish you could see the cost breakdown better. But we had bus lines with like 30 or 40 vehicles, so we deleted those bus lines. They seem to be glitched. These all have a reasonable number of vehicles. Does it tell us how much we're spending? It's 600 on a train. Does backing this down change our budget? Like, does anyone know if the model of train, considering they go from a capacity of 150 or 120, or maybe even, is 120 the smallest, up to 660? I switched them all to 660s thinking like, oh, that's easier. Am I spending more on those? Did that one metro train say 1,200 people? Quite possibly. Quite possibly. What line were we on? No, worst is 300 waiting at a stop that I can see, but they can all get on the next train because there's 660 capacity. So that's not too bad. Let me see here. Okay, so this one has a lot of people. Has a fair number of people waiting, like. Okay, does the transport budget not change? So like 42 495.84. 42 495.84. We'll let it run for a couple days. And is that budget purely a configuration of the lines? It is holding steady. Where if we jump in and look at industry, I think the expenses stay the same and it's the income that varies. But let's see. Oh no, they both vary. Okay. I guess it depends on the cost of importing of goods. Love your cities, vids. Give me so many good tips. Appreciate that. If you get ideas on why I'm going broke, go ahead and let me know. I could use a return favor right about now, but I appreciate it. So industries looks good. Parks, we're making some money. Policies are costing us 4,000. Parks are costing us 18,000. Do we, you know what? I don't have, like I've got Central Park, but I don't think there's any kind of payment to get in there. There is a gate, like somebody just walked through that gate. But most of the activities that happen at the park, yeah, ticket price is all the way up. But there's nobody walking through that one gate, right? Like how many people do we have? Does it say? Okay, so we're spending more on the expenses of the park than we are on the income of the people coming in. And let me ask this, how are we making an income of $90 when the ticket price is $25? Who are we giving discounts to under the table? Who's not paying full price? What's the S0 income? Above transit, was there something? Let me see. What? Oh, zero income is on specialized zoning. I don't have any green city zoning, tourism, or leisure defined. So they don't have any income because there isn't any of those specific zones. We make $200 on generic industry. We make 200,000 on the DLCs. We don't. Oh, also zero industry specific. So like base game, paint yellow zoning, and it becomes a farm or oil, like that kind of industry specialization. I also don't have in the city. We're making very little money on what looks like transit to spend 42,000 on transit. Let's take a look. Did I use higher ticket prices? Use it less passengers isn't a problem when you make more people. Okay, so I have 90% traffic too. So let's look at this from a policy perspective. Power usage costs, we're not doing it. I have smoke detector distribution off. So that significantly reduces the risk of fire. We're not doing that. So we have arguably, would you say significantly increased risk of fire, or it's just the risk of fire and you're reducing it? So it's not to say that it's necessarily significant. You should be fine. It's safe. You can move in. Pet ban, reduced garbage accumulation, slightly decreased happiness. That doesn't have any monetary effect though, right? Recycling, slightly reduced tax income. It's turned off. We're dealing with more trash to get more tax income. smoking, increase health, decrease happiness, no money. Make your parks and plazas the envy of the country, increases the budget by 20%. That is off. Okay, now education boost is costing us. I think I'm okay with this though. Boost the education budget and make young adults automatically choose education over working. Prioritizes education over. Should I turn this off and let the Hadron Collider sort it out? I think I'm going to try that. Does that affect... Okay. We're not prioritizing education. We're just saying do whatever the hell you want. We're going libertarian and saving 25% of our budget. Recreational use, slightly increased tax income, moderately increased tourism. Massachusetts is trying to roll that back, by the way. That's awful. Slightly reduced, in my opinion, slightly reduced crime rate and increases police budget by 15%. So is the money that we're making from increased tax income and tourists worth the increase in police budget? I was making money with this on. To be fair, I was making money with education boost on, but education 25% is a big increase versus police increase of 15% to do the morally right thing and allow recreational use. Free public transport, absolutely not. School's out, we don't care about it. That's the opposite end of the spectrum of education boost. Harsh prison sentence, doesn't matter. Extra insulation. Less tax income, nope. No electricity for heat. We don't care about heat. Only electricity for heat. Helicopter priority. I don't think we have that defined anywhere. That's for emergencies. We don't have any ferries. We do have high ticket prices turned on. So, raise public transport ticket prices by 25% to get more profit may result in less passengers. We don't have really any traffic problems though, so it's not like we need it desperately. Educational blimps, no cost. Recycling centers is turned off. So they're not working at increased efficiency, but we're also, for the most part, not having a problem with garbage. I don't think. We're just having a problem with this freaking death wave all night. Okay, back to policies. Removing all bus lines. I kind of like, so I did remove a bunch of bus lines. And it's not just the death wave that is causing that reduction in money. Like, I've been having this slow bleed of money from... I've never recovered after a major remodel I did of the city at around 400 million. And I think last time I streamed, we were at 379 million. Now we're at 375. So it's slowly bleeding as I do these projects and not coming back. Prefer parks cost 100 per park. We're not doing that. We're not taking on a lot of these things. Like, I thought I had come through here and made it pretty cost effective. We weren't trying to be altruistic. We were trying to make money. But not necessarily in an aggressive way. It was just kind of doing its thing. Free Wi-Fi I've never done. It's a cost per building. Automated sorting, I never do the mail. I think it increases happiness. Who cares? For-profit education reduces citizen happiness, but education building upkeep goes down 50%. So that's fine. Book fair, public libraries upkeep increase. Nope. Fishing license increases all residential tax income by 5%, reduces citizen happiness, and increases crime. Tourist travel card, the city will receive 8% more tourists. Increases inner city bus network upkeep. I'm turning that off. Let's run that for a minute. We're gonna go through one page. We'll leave it on 3 times speed. I wish you could 3 times speed and cinematic camera. That would be kind of cool. But we have to do it old school. We have to do our own cinematic camera. I'm gonna throw it on at night. Those buildings don't animate lights from this far away anyways. They're all office buildings. They're closed for the night. I think AC said that last time. It's a story and I'm sticking to it. We'll let it run for a little bit. We'll see what happens with we'll give it a second for the budget, the new feng shui of the budget to settle. I don't know. What do the kids say now? Does a budget have aura? Is that a thing? Can budgets have aura? Sometimes cities get too big. The problem are usually because of death. Yeah, no, I don't disagree, but it also, like, it's just never recovered. And I've had cities over 200,000 before. This one has, I don't think, ever gone above 120,000. So I'm wondering what I'm doing so different from past builds. Wait, you've got encouraged biking. I tried turning that off. It will force more people to use public transport. Oh, oh, oh. Policies. Where is it? Policies. No. Budget. Where is the transport? We're making $3,200 on transport at the moment. I wonder if we're gonna have electrical problems because the budget, or I think I adjusted the nighttime budget enough for electricity. I did. Okay. We'll give it a second. We'll give it a second and then we'll peek. You know what? I might have turned that on recently too. That might be a recent wrench in the works. I think because of the news of the bike update, probably I was like, I'll have some bikes in my city. Sure, why not? Skyline looks pretty. Appreciate that. It's actually what I did on the last stream was building that skyline in the main downtown. And built it in two separate pockets of tall skyscrapers, not unlike the zoning in Manhattan, which happened that way I was explaining last time. Because as the city was built up, you have this tall district that's defined, like, hey, put the tall buildings here. And then as the city started and continued to fill out, they needed a place to put more tall buildings, which is why you see these two distinct pockets of very tall zoning in Manhattan. And kind of modeled it a little bit after that. But that was last stream, working on my city's skylines in City Skylines Remastered. I blew it. Now I know what the title should have been. Remastering my city's skyline in City Skylines Remastered. That would have been better, I feel like. How's everybody doing? I hope you are having a short week. Well, if you're in the US, you're probably having a short week. I have QBRs tomorrow, which is a ton of fun. Quarterly business reviews. So, long meeting tomorrow. All right, let's see where our budget is at. Nice to see someone still on CS1. Doesn't make me feel bad for not being able to play the second one. There you go. I mean, the second one is not, it's not great. It's not great. I'm not a fan. I tried for a long time. So getting by on CS Remastered. Maybe there will be a 2 for console someday, but I'm not holding out hope that it's going to be good because the game that it's built off of is not good. If the new dev makes Cities 2 better and makes improvements and builds stuff into the game, I'll start to get excited for console. But until they show that they can actually improve the game and not leave it to the modding community to do everything, I'm not going to get excited to, buy a bunch of new DLC again. Wait, you're not a fan of Cities 2? Adia, don't make me mute you. What are our timeout options? I want to be a fan of it. I still want to be a fan of it. Like, I would love it if they made it a fun game to play and I enjoyed it. I do not, however, though. What's going on here? Why are we just a little bit under budget for electricity there? That's kind of weird. Tonight, we did turn off this stadium, partially out of spite because we can't walk around in it because it just, you fall through the floor. You can walk around the stadium, but like if Chirper wants to pretend to be a player, no such luck, because as soon as you touch the grass, you fall through. But this was like $7,000 a week versus $3,000 a week for the college stadiums. Or like 8,000? I don't even know. It was a lot. So we're trying to figure out the money problem here. Okay, so hold on a second. We turned off biking. We're letting it run on 3 times speed. Are we getting any more? We're getting less money in transport? Were we at 32? I'm pretty sure we were at 32. We're getting less money. We lost money. It's working. You're only losing 50K now. It does. So that's the thing. Like, it always fluctuated wildly. That was never the problem. The problem is it's trending down more consistently now. And again, we can see it here through. Yeah. Right? This is the treasury. This is the budget. So like we're just like slowly bleeding money. Like, did we just you know what, to be fair, like, did I just hit like the money? Like the game doesn't want me to be a billionaire? Have any of you been a billionaire in cities? That's what I was trying to do. It's not what I set out to do, but when we got over like 200 million, I was like, screw it. Let's see what this thing does. And we got over to 400, and then like whatever changes happened, like the city just never really recovered from it at that point. And this death wave is new. Like, this death wave was not happening last stream, and I didn't dramatically reconfigure anything. So I don't know what's going on there either. I kind of feel like City Planner plays though because I don't know if he's come round on it, but like right before a lot of the news shook up over the last couple months, he was like, I'm kind of done with cities too. Here's all the work I did, even modded. I can't fix my main city. So I'm going to start working on some other games and stuff. And then they were like, hey, Ultimate's coming. And then the bikes are coming. And by the way, CO's fired. And all of a sudden there's all this traffic and demand for it. So I'm sure, you know, he's got to spring back into gear. It's just, I don't know. I feel like this is broken too. Like it shouldn't be that busted or that unclear. Like how come it's that hard to tell? Like, am I being an idiot? Am I just being an idiot? I think turn off high ticket prices. Maybe some people are stubborn as hell. We could try it. That's what we are here for. We are troubleshooting as a group, which means that if we succeed, we can all claim success. But if we fail, I'm blaming you. Sorry, that was aggressive. I'm not really blaming you. I just thought, you know. No, I'm actually, no, now that I'm thinking about it, I am gonna blame you. Back to, where was it? So we're thinking turn off high ticket prices. Turn off high ticket prices. We'll just do regular ticket prices. Do we have something stupid on? Yes, we do. Public transport is free on match days. Increased amount of visitors, which raises the odds of winning. But we were also giving away transport on match days, which is not that many days. But if we're having problems with the budget, pay to come see a game. And also, should we parkify the main pedestrian paths in and out? Like, think about all these people we could be charging $20 for that little shortcut that they just took. right? I should probably do that. I should probably do that. So here's our project for right now. We're going to work on these. We're going to fence in and parkify these things right here. So what if... Okay. I think I got this here. So we're going to make a road. What are these roads? So let's give people a way in and out on the cars. Let's not stoplight them, though. Oh, this is a stoplight. Okay, no. Get rid of these stoplights. We don't need stoplights here. We need cars flowing through. Okay, so easy enough to get in and out. Let's change this. So... is this part of my campus beautification? Do I need this? I feel like this is part of my campus rating here. It could go anywhere over here though, so over there is fine for now. Okay. Dumb policy, billionaires don't give out 3 things. Yeah. How do you think you become a trillionaire? Not by giving stuff away. Let's see. I do have an airport. So let's see. Wow. Transport income, $16,000. We're still spending $42,000 on it, but that's 12, 13 more than where we were at. 14 more at one point. Joe, what do you think on the airport? I do have the... Don't ignore the... It's the Metropolitan Airport. What are the consequences of raising taxes above 12%? I mean, people will move out. That's the problem. They'll complain. They'll move out. You can raise it temporarily to make some money, but it doesn't help our long-term money problems. It is not the airport's DLC. I've never messed around. I do have it, but I've never ever done the actual airport's DLC airport. I got bored of it before the first upgrade, and then plopped in the Metropolitan, which I like just fine. I will probably do a tile-sized airport when I do my new Boston build finally. That is one stubborn death wave. It is indeed, because it's not like we don't have the coverage. And we've been at 150%. That is part of our budget problem right now, right? We are blowing money on healthcare right now that we shouldn't have to. So if we continue to have death wave problems, I may need to look at cemetery coverage and add more of it. Or ignore it and let people just move out. But it's not helping our money problems. We're good in the green right now, which is nice. But the question is, like, when we fluctuate into the negative, where are we going so amiss? $14,000 on transport. Huge parks budget, and we're not I don't think we're doing much to make money on that front. Medical helicopter. Yeah, I don't know that the death wave is I mean, is the death wave? I mean, what? Did I adjust taxes and not notice? I did. I threw taxes to 13 by accident, and everybody started complaining. Didn't notice that I did that. So the only problem with death wave, right, is its potential. If you don't address it, it becomes abandonment, and then, you know, the other households move out. So hopefully it doesn't become too much of an issue. We do start to worry about that with the red buildings, basically. They've been waiting longer. And these buildings in particular, like I've got a problem over here with my commercial buildings. I don't know what's going on. I think these are all historical to keep them downsized, and for whatever reason the historical's abandoned more frequently. I don't know the exact science behind that, but in an attempt to keep them looking like certain businesses, it just wasn't doing the trick. Not enough hearses, so I don't think so. But again, this is a lot of death wave troubleshooting. We're not worried about the death wave. We're worried about the money. If we look at death care, cemetery usage, there's tons of crematorium availability. Everybody's pretty green in terms of coverage. And we're at 150% of budget, which is maxing out the number of hearses that we can send out right now. So short of building a ton more cemeteries that we don't need. But again, like the death wave is just a secondary thing. We got to figure out where the budget is going outside of that, because the budget problems were happening independent of the death wave, before the death wave. Did I click on taxes again and do that again? I did not see myself do that, but good catch. Do you only have buses? Causing having more public transport can make more money in the long run. Huh. I mean, we had a bunch of buses that were broken. There were 30 plus buses on some lines and 0 passengers. And I never changed the vehicle count modifier, so I don't know what happened there. But we've got a handful of buses. The only thing that they're doing right now, though, is making it look like these schools have school buses coming in and out of the parking lot. That's literally all they do. Well, I take that back. They do actually move some people around. They will ride from residential to over here. But these schools aren't actually in use. They're off. We're using the Hadron Collider. Real late, Sin. Holy cow. I was looking at the clock thinking, like, what time do I go till? Oh, good news is you haven't missed the troubleshooting, because we're still losing money. I wish we could zoom in on the timeline. Or are we going to start to see it trending up? What is the best indicator? This is technically what? Money in the bank? So if we look at, economy, 462 is our income, 427 expenses. So like when we look at, did I just do taxes again? I think I did. Yeah, I did. Okay, I got to stop doing that. The hourly, so wait, the number to the right of your budget, of your total account value, it goes wildly up and down, but we've made adjustments where transport is doing a little bit of lifting now. Definitely doing away with game day made a difference. Was it the combination of turning off free game day and turning off bikes and turning off high ticket prices? So we did a few things. There was a whole soup going on there. Like, it's free on game days, otherwise it's super expensive. tourist tax income. But you need open traffic for traffic in and out of the city. Okay, so Sid, you should know that at least there I know what I'm doing, because each industry has its own independent highway exit. So here's our woodland. Literally nothing else gets on and off this exit going that way except for traffic to the forestry. Same thing down here off on the edge of our map. I did this with 2 of the zones on purpose. So off to the edge of the map is the oil production, and off on the other side of the map is the ore production. And again, that's tucked away where it's the last exit on and off the map. And then what do we have over on this side of the map? So basically all 4 corners essentially is a separate industry. They are all well covered by train and highway, have all kinds of policies to prevent unnecessary traffic in them. And I manage the production chain really carefully. So if we go over here, sorry for whipping the camera around. If we go look over here, for example, at the sneaker factory, you need things from other zones. So we need crops from farm, we need paper from the trees, but we also need petroleum and plastics. Both of those are produced here. So not only, you know, did I put a lot of thought into where the zones are in general, but then the actual production chain, every major factory gets more than one ingredient from a zone, the more complex ones as you move up the chain. So any of those in every case are in the zone that have those 2 requirements, right? So if we're making the car factory, this requires glass and metals. Those are both produced here in the ore. Plastics and animal products come from elsewhere. But again, it's like whatever one is more heavily demanded for particular goods is in the zone where those goods are produced. So the industries piece I've got a pretty good handle on, not just from availability perspective, but if you look at the bottom, it's the second from the bottom in the income and expenses column. This is conservative right now, 246,000 profit for 132,000 expenses. They will vary, but it will go up into the 300s in terms of profit for around the same expenses. And generally the only problems that we run into with industry are going to be these, which is we've made goods that we just need to sell. We need timber to go someplace, or in this case, we need paper to go someplace. And again, those are key ingredients in other parts of the supply chain, which is why we overproduce those and then ship them to warehouses. The large warehouses store stuff that comes from other zones. In this case, well, actually that's petroleum, that's plastics. So we should have a paper warehouse over here too. Did I not set up a paper warehouse over here? I feel like I do that in the other zones, but if we're not having problems with the production there, I'm not going to complain. Our death wave isn't really settling, but it's not getting worse, I guess. I would like to see Biffa do it with 0 mods. Challenge accepted. No mods vanilla game. Tourism and mastery. Let's look at that tourism. Somebody mentioned, right, tourism taxes. So look at income from citizens. We have 4,700 income. Tourists, we have 11,700 income. Let's look more specifically here. We're running pretty thin on electricity production, which is also all one big grid. I think there's like 1 or 2 microgrids that are functioning like this here. This is the sewage getting sent off. It's, what is it? It's, what do you call it? It's a canal with the wastewater treatment. Why can I not think of the name of it? This thing? The eco water treatment plant mounted to it on either side down the entire side of the canal. We could try and do some walking tours. I don't think I've done that. Maybe we're cutting too much. Turning off almost all tourist stuff may be lowering income from tourism. Okay, well, you ready? Let's find out. Oh, we lost the game. This is something, okay, I do need to do this, right? Because like we have all these games happening and all this traffic and we're not charging people to get to the metro station. At the very least, I should charge the people over here. I think it would be the easiest one to do. I didn't want to have to do that kind of stuff though, and the city was doing fine without it. So let's see. Now we don't have a ton of the tourist stuff off. Why? What is this off for? So this is all unique buildings that I was kind of doing like a factory design with. Is this just a warehouse that's not on? Okay. So some of that is okay. Some of that is okay to be off. But why don't we do this? Let's take a look at how our downtown is doing, and especially at night. But in order to do that, we got to turn on all these uniques. I would love to leave these on in particular. They're not terribly expensive. I think the worst offender over here is the observation tower at 448. No, there's a more expensive skyscraper than that. I shouldn't say it's that is not a skyscraper, but all these others are skyscrapers DLC. But transport tower's expensive, 768. Okay. Well, we'll turn all that on. Like we have good subway coverage through here. And like, look at all the people coming in. Like we have lots of tourist buildings. What are these doing? Are you ready? Like, look at all these people pouring out of the subway, right? 78 visitors last week for 256 bucks. 182 visitors for $1,900. 100 visitors for $1,000. Like, the Science Center is better bang for the buck. The Expo Center also like 167 visitors, but for $1,200. That's a lot of money. That doesn't have as tangible of a benefit when you look at it like that. Can you view mass transit budget screen? Yeah, 1 second here. Walking tours can make money and they don't clog with traffic. Really, really wish they would let us change ticket prices for mass transit lines. Yeah. That's why you need the mods, right? You need the ability to control it on a per line basis. More granular control. Mass transit in budget. So hold on a second. So what are we doing? We're making almost 14,000, but we're spending 42,000. How do we figure out where that budget is going? Is this all it tells us? This is all it tells us basically? What are we doing here? One taxi per week? Get the Wait, do you see it, Sin? What am I doing wrong? At the bot, yeah. It shows how much, yeah. No, I'm with you on that. So here, we're seeing 12,000 income, 42,000 expense. Where is that expense? Remove the taxis completely? Yeah. So yeah, Sin, do you play on console or do you play on PC? I don't remember. But we are really limited. So I would consider taking out taxis. Primary on console. Weigh vehicles per line across each type against the capacity per vehicle and usage of said line. Okay, so I asked this earlier. Do you know? Am I spending all my money on metro vehicles because I put them on the large capacity when I may not need to? Does this cost money? It doesn't say anything about it. It doesn't tell me anything about my expenditure. But am I spending money on these? I don't know with my delay if you're telling me yes on that, so I'm going to hang out here for a second. We might have just found our problem. We absolutely might have just found where that $42,000 is going. Either way, I know that this train in particular barely deserves to have 2 cars, not to mention 660 capacity. What is the smallest? This one? Please tell me that is also the cheapest. Okay, we're going to drop the train type. Okay, so let's change on everything that we can. Do we make people wait? It's 120 capacity. Okay, I'm gonna hang out here for a minute. We're gonna fix the lines, but I just want to see what this does with 120 capacity. There's a lot of people waiting. They're stacked up. Do we increase it to 150 or add a third car or just deal with it? Did you miss anything? Potentially Sin figuring out my problem here. So I have all the trains on the large capacity and it doesn't say anything about the cost here, but that could be the problem because I was just like, oh, just put them all on the big train, even though. Okay, so we're actually doing pretty good here, I think, because look, we got 120 people. We got a stuffed train, but before that next one fills up, we've already emptied it. So we're gonna see that like be disrupted at first when we break a line, but that looks like that will work. Maybe not on a game day, maybe not if like all the right things are happening at once, but that's 50% vehicles and 120 capacity. Okay, so wait a minute. You are running 660s and they don't seem any more or less capacity. No. Okay, wait. Sin, no, wait. I have all 660s. This is the first line that I've changed to 120. They are all 660. Every single one of them. They are adjusted for vehicle count based on that 660. That looks like a tram, not a metro. Yeah, I know. Look at Green Line is I think is Green Line mostly. I should know my lines better. Green Line and Red Line both have above ground cars in Boston. I want to say maybe other lines too. I should know it better. But check those out. Those are old school looking subway cars. Okay, so we've got a bunch of people backed up over there. We loaded 120 on. Okay, so that is backing up quite a bit. Let's do 150 here. Let's try 150 on 2 cars. Yeah, we turned off free rides for game days. We turned off high ticket prices to try and balance things. And we turned off encourage biking, even though I saw very little biking in the city. But I had turned that on recently. Yeah, you won't see the budget adjust for a while. I'm more just hanging out here to see if the human traffic settles. Mass transit is one of the worst whack-a-moles, yeah. I'm hanging out here for a minute to see if I go to like 60, 70% on the vehicles, whatever it is, to get a third vehicle. I want to see, so I need to see what this train that just left the first station does when it comes back around. Because like, how backed up are we going to be by the time it gets back there? I think enough that we need a third car. Because they're far apart, unfortunately. It takes them a while. But then again, what is the consequence of people waiting at the station a little too long? Versus, I guess, a lot too long. Does it become an infinitely compounding problem if there's never enough trains for the people? So the question is, can this train with 12 people on it get back to the first station before there's 150 people to fill it up? Can everybody get on that next train? I like to be able to do that so that when there are capacity problems, it doesn't back up too much. But I don't want to overdo it either. We're trying to solve some cash problems here while slowly still bleeding cash, mind you, in the background. Check if you need lines to other areas. Yeah. How's encouraged biking save money? Yeah. They still connect. Takes people. But the thing is, like, I don't really have a traffic problem. I'm fine with traffic. We're at 87%. We've got a couple spots where it gets a little slow. The traffic is, and like, it's very poorly set up in certain spots. Like, this entire half of the city is handled on like a partial cloverleaf. There's still work to be done. But traffic itself is generally not a problem. 87 is the lowest I've seen in a while. It's generally like 88 to 92, depending on the time of day and like where we've been hanging out in the world can affect it. Because like, it doesn't load. It like loads a simulation, but it's not loading actual agents until like you go in here, and then it's like, oh, maybe I should like see, like, this was a green intersection. Now it's starting to turn red because there's traffic. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't a problem until you came over here and asked it to animate traffic. So that's the other thing that's kind of funny. Like, we can solve some problems hanging out over here. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that bikes can do that, but like bikes just aren't this city. I might put like it might be fun to have like a bike path that kind of like branches off the backside of the campus. Maybe a cut through over here. Could be kind of fun to fill in some pedestrian paths, things like that. But I'm not going to do like major infrastructure shifts. If anything, I want to do subway, a little bit of above ground train, which I've started to work into the map here and there. I don't have any of those lines connected. Those stations should probably be off because they're literally not doing anything. Right? I don't think I have a line. Do I have a line set up? Whatever. I don't know. How much was I saving by this? What did I do? $1,000? Makes people happy. Does this line come in all the way from the outside? I guess it does. Do I allow intercity trains to these? Huh. Okay, well, there's some expenditure too. Yeah, 0 passengers last week. Because there's no lines technically on it. Okay, hold on a second. Let me. What do I got? So Comic, I was with you. I thought encourage biking loses money because people are traveling where they can bike, and maybe they do pop into transport, but wouldn't they transport longer and different hops if they weren't biking part of the route? But since it saves money by making them healthier, live longer, the longer they live, the more they can pay taxes. I'm not trying to bet. I don't mind. Like this session today is especially for backseating the city. I am here for your ideas because I am trying to fix this budget. So like, what is what is my train station doing? Passenger service last week, we are allowing intercity trains. So are trains technically coming in here to like visit the campus? And what does this train line hook up to? I've really got to rethink the train lines, but in the meantime, let's turn the train network off because like this is totally pointless. It will eventually take people around the city and allow intercity trains at some stations, like maybe the campus here, maybe the airport, I don't know. Yeah, see, look at my budget. It's negative 60,000. Like what are we looking at right now? What's the disconnect? So again, industries is good. Schools are making a lot less money now. Is it a lull in sports? Like, why has my... What did we change about education? Oh, we made it so people aren't forced to go to school? Is spending money to force them to go to school make more money on... Okay, so it increases the education budget by 25%. To make more money. So was that actually good for the economy overall? Because I feel like we're making a lot less money at schools now. Policies, education boost increases the education budget by 25%. But our education budget is all about for-profit. Right now, our school's making $76,000. It could be due to population and death. It could be due to game losses happening. We're not doing free transport for game days, so we may lose more games because of less fan support, which means less winning bonuses. So it's all a weird balance, man. I like trams a lot. I do want to implement some trams. Bike highways and park exploits, yeah. I wonder if like if just playing that game around okay, I'm doing it. We're doing it right here. So this, how do we do this as easy as possible? What if we, okay, we're gonna break this road altogether. There's no longer a car road here. Let's do, what pedestrian path's gonna fit nicely here? Or what, better yet, what's gonna fit well with the, what do you call it? Let's assume about there. I'm gonna do that. Let's see if this will connect. Did I leave just enough space, hopefully? So, okay, we gotta paint the zone. Small tool, we will de-zone and paint a new park that only impacts this little road right here. I did this reverse. You should do the pass after. Let's see if this connects. Are we ready? Please connect. No, okay. Okay, we'll do that, and then we'll do a side gate over here. And a lot of people, the majority of people take that subway station in and then walk this way through this park. So now if we do this, it's going to cost them $20 every time they walk through there. And they should be walking through there soon because there's a game that's going to let out in not too long. Let's see are they playing? What is next match is 11:28. 10:18, so that match is about to happen. Next match in May? What do you have an indoor aquatic center for? It's warm all winter. You're not going to do another event till May? Okay. Let's get a look. Economy, parks, right? Parks, $8,000 income right now because we do have zoos and amusement parks. We'll see if this gives us a little bump on when the game exits. Although we have to wait till the 18th for it to even start. So we'll hang tight and we'll watch the budget as all the people hit the park on the way out. Is there a hearse coming? People have died just waiting for the game? Wait. Oh, they're letting out right now. Okay, here go. No! No, they're not getting out. No! Why? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What the actual heck? I thought it was weird that they were both emptying out so quickly. Come on. Okay, 37 people here. What is it? It's November 20. Hey, we're giving away, right? Do I have 5 more memberships? 5 gifted memberships. Spam some Elmo fire emotes, please, if you just got gifted a membership. And thank you for hanging out. Appreciate you. Welcome to the channel. You're under no obligation to renew that. Darsh got one. Awesome. Hanging out, lurking in chat. Welcome to membership. Appreciate you. Darsh, where are you? Are you not in the UK? Is it not super late? Why do I think just because of Egg that you are also over there? What time zone are you in, if you don't mind sharing? Got missed. Sorry. Come back. Mostly on city streams because there are more people here. 2 times a month I can give away 5 gifted memberships. So you get to spam some silly emotes. You could do it for as little as 99 cents if you want to support the channel, but I totally get it. Like, the economy is may not be worth a 99-cent emote spam. But when you're here and have membership, there is an Elmo. Although I feel like what I am feeling right now is definitely the Herald right there. Because we were going to find out how much money that was going to make our parks. Actually, you know what? I wasn't even paying attention. I was too worried about the fire. They were escaping the event. It didn't change the fact that they were paying money to go through that park, and I totally missed it. But whatever. We'll hang out for the next one. Don't want to miss the Sims running around the fire. I was like, why are they all pouring out? The game hasn't started yet. And like, no, it's not. It's not. Of course it's fire. Okay, we don't have, unfortunately, a good way to hook up over here. I've got, I could redesign all this around taxing people, but if we just make it incremental and just get it back to where it's making a little bit of money. I don't need to make a lot of money. I was just going to do a long, slow climb to 1 billion, but I don't want to watch it just slowly dwindle away. We're not gonna give up on almost 400 million. Okay, what's our next game? This one? 11:28. 11:28. So we have 2 games happening 11:28. That is perfect. That's going to put a ton of stress on this segment right here. We still have to go back and look at the... Sin, I stopped. I only did 1 subway line any different. So So we can certainly look at more subway lines too, if I remember. Did it just like keep burning? Is it when Park Life came out? Because when Park Life came out, they didn't know how to path to put out the fires. They had to patch that in. I remember that. Like helicopter, regular firefighter vehicles wouldn't put out the fire because they didn't know how to go on the paths. If it was on a road, great. But if you had it on the actual paths, firefighters didn't know how to use the paths to go put fires out. So parks burned a lot at first, for sure. 408 in the UK? Oh, man. All right. Well, good morning. Let's see if we can make some progress here. Let's figure this out. Wait, sorry. Back to budget for a second. 13,000, 39. We've trimmed a little bit of money off the transport budget. Let's keep going. Let's keep looking. Buses. I think all these bus lines are my school bus lines. What is this one? What the hell is this one? Where do we, how do we follow the bus line? Or I can just go to the stops, right? It's in the Skylines Francesi. Does it just go around? What? This is a bus line that I made? Did I go for an achievement or something? Why would this? Is this literally just a convenience bus to move people around the industrial area? Okay. Well, that's gone. That's gone for sure. First Spot Cities, I had no idea what to do. Your channel was the first I ever watched. Helped me get started. Thank you. Been sub since. Appreciate that so much. I didn't know what I was doing, and I found a Imperial Jedi tutorial, and I was like, okay, this is cool, but like nobody's done this for console. So I figured like, okay, I'll just do that for console. And it turned into something. And here we are 8 years later from when I started that. Okay, not a meteor, please. We don't need extra drama on the stream. We got enough tension going on here trying to fix the budget. What is our time difference? I am Eastern, so it is 11:10 p.m. here. One of the first to do console guide. Basic grid you taught to start with. Yeah, I mean, like, and that's the thing, like, I wasn't particularly, I've gotten a lot better, but like my early builds were not at all about being aesthetic. I wasn't particularly good at it. We didn't have a ton of DLC at the time either, but like there is a different skill set. It's not that different from what my day job was at the time. I manage a team now, but I was a sales engineer, and like, so you're presenting technical and answering questions and trying to position value. And it's honest, it's not that different. Like you're talking about a technical thing, hopefully with passion, and answering questions and teaching people about it. And I think to some extent it was good practice for my day job, and vice versa. Like the public speaking experience, it all blends together. I didn't do a part. Oh, look at all the people we're missing over here. Look at all those people that aren't paying their taxes. Just wait a minute there. Hold on a minute. This park just got 2 more gates. So oh, I need to extend the area first. Hold on. So we'll just bring it around. Right? Where are we going to put it? We're going to put it. Oops. No, I don't want to. No, I don't. No. Oh my God, game. Okay. I don't want to paint the building, but that's good enough. That's fine. Okay, so that brought it over here. Now we just got to bring that to there. So if we go back in, if we do side gate, no? Oh, it's gotta be roadside. Can we charge them on one side? Does it not have to be gated on both sides? What do you mean space already occupied? You suck. You suck, game. Are you serious? Okay, hold on a second. Let's give ourselves a little wiggle room at least where this will all be park area. It'll let me do there, which is not great, but it works. I can tweak and mess around with that later. And then we just connect this back up. Not upgrade, straight. So they have to pay to come in here, right? And that ticket price should be the same because it's the same area. It's $20. It's $20 to walk through there. So unfortunately, all those people that left. Dang. Okay. Actually hit the space already occupied. It's annoying. Not enough educated workers when first starting because it never goes away. I mean, you got an education boost, and it's a tough problem to overcome because like you're constantly filling with less educated workers, and then they're looking for another job someplace else, and it doesn't balance it appropriately. I mean, at this point, the only road to 1 billion. Do we need to do the Dr. Evil move? Not enough educated workers means you've grown too fast without high schools. Yeah. Or just look at like you need more industry and exporting of goods. You can get by. There are little ways you can tweak it. But when we're trying to do like everything now, and it's getting a little overgrown. I want this to be like a complete city. I want to fully flesh out these couple little things that I haven't done. This little nook in here. I want to do it slowly and carefully though, and I was really hoping to get the budget under control first. I mean, part of it could be too, like we have this insane demand. Like what is our employment at right now? We are 14% unemployment. Like that's probably not helping things, right? And we want for businesses, we want for work. So that might definitely have something to do with it. The way that the demand meters are shifting around. Never saw anything until the graph maxes out. Okay. You're green a lot more than red now. Are we trending in the right way? Okay, hold on. 370. Oh, here. Let's say it out loud. I just type it in chat. 372. Let's call. Okay, we're at 232. 372, 232. Do we start trending up? Do we end up at 373 million in a minute? And you know what? We're gonna do the suspense at 1 speed, and we're gonna throw it at nighttime with increased electricity budget. But it's better camera shots, mouse, for edge of map fog. Got to demolish the stadiums. Just get rid of them all together. Watch a video that said the console demand bars show more demand than there actually is. So it's best to zone when full rather than not. Oh, really? Huh. Your city can't afford them. What the heck did I learn? I actually learned about the walking paths populating areas of the map that would otherwise Sims would not care to go to. I just learned about that from Flyvox. I love Flyvox's channel. It's so unfortunate that he did not really hit on the scene until Cities 2, and like all the life was sucked out of the community, not by him, but by the game. Because he's a great creator. I love his stuff, and I am still learning stuff about cities in 2025 from Flyvox videos. Well, actually, I got to double check with him. I think we're going to link up Sunday for a podcast and just talk about the state of Cities 2 and where it's at. It's time to revisit. I had a really fun conversation with him last time we did a podcast. It was like a year back at least. Why is Sin's comment not letting you approve? Did somebody else already approve it? Making over 100K per an hour. Yeah, like that's where it, like, so it was there for quite a bit. That's how we got to 400 million. And then I disrupted something and broke it all. So I just have to be very careful going forward and put all emphasis on money. I'm hoping that I want to make the parks look clean, because if we're gonna cheese it, they at least have to look really nice. Adias saw a comment come up. I'm not sure, Sin, but I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, unless you're saying something like really offensive, and then do worry about it, but you weren't. But in the back of the mind, you know you cheesed it. Yeah, I just like, that's the thing, like this Riverrun city, I was keeping away from like, and nothing against like Sin, I think you said like you're all about the bike networks, right? Like it's just not something I do. Like a park with it in the middle of your city that kind of like provides like a little freeway in the middle for your bikes. Okay, I can see like an infrastructure project like that. That might be kind of cool. Why are there 2 white lights and a bunch of yellow lights in that 4-lane road? I want to change to the white lights, please. But I'll get Flybox in on it. Exactly. Maybe I'll get some professional consulting. The only way to $1 billion is cheese, sponsored by crap. Okay. I mean, that's the thing. We can cheese it and then always build it back later. I kind of feel like the $1 billion is its own little side project now. Which I think we can do. Let's peak, okay? We're gonna peak. Now, but electricity is more expensive at night. 372,288. Where were we? 372,232. You know what? Are we trending the right way? 2723. Let's go. Let's go. I was trying to get into the cinematic camera and I went into transport views. Did we do it, chat? Thank you. We're starting the road to recovery. And you know what we've learned? That we've got to abuse park life. We got to abuse park life. I think we're on the recovery. We are climbing in cash. The question is, does it continue to climb, or is it a short-term ebb when we've got a lot of flow happening? But yes, big woot woots. Any celebratory emotes you have in the chat, please feel free to spam them. Now is the time. If you happen to be a member, I don't know. There's a celebratory. We get a little Pepe love in there, maybe. That's probably the most appropriate. There's been a lot of squirrel moments. That's why Doug is there. Sometimes we fix stuff later. Oh man, I am excited. Now I can run this thing all day long while I'm at work as a screensaver in the background and just slowly build up to $1 billion again, hopefully. I really gotta look at the what do you call it? The parks. We gotta Central Park is a bunch of stuff. It could be a little bit better put together. And it could be making a lot more money. That is edge of map somewhere. What is that? Miss people putting their cars in their pockets. I like that they will park. I guess I don't mind a pocket car, but it is weird when it's just like everybody's pulling out pocket cars. That is kind of a funny concept though, that like parking was such an underdeveloped concept in the first game that pocket cars were a concept. It's so weird. I remember being so excited when Revo added those little parking stalls to Mid-Century Modern. Like, oh, we can put little parking lots around. And then they were like, oh, people want parking lots? Like, yes, we want parking lots. We've been asking for a decade. And then they added some parking lots into the game. They used them in a very weird way. Like if we come over here to the Lone Pine to the Lone Pine Mall, this is the road technically that it doesn't matter which way the parking lot is facing. They want a parking spot, and their objective is to end their car journey as soon as possible. I found a parking spot. Imagine if finding good parking was that easy, because everybody's inherent decision-making process was the first spot that I saw is the one that I will park in, which also happens to be the one furthest away from the door. That would make parking so nice. Just like premier parking everywhere. I feel like it's like that, maybe like it would fit in nice in that, like that Ricky Gervais movie where he invented lying. No one can lie except him. I feel like that's what they would do in parking lots in that universe. Is calmly fill the back of the parking lot forward, and then you could just be like, you could just take the front. I appreciate that comic. Don't worry about it. We don't need the bank getting involved. What is this suspicious transaction you're doing? Supporting this nonsense. Imagine having to explain that to your bank. Like, what is the 99p for? It's for an idiot YouTuber. He gave me some helpful advice back in the day, but really, I just feel sorry for him because he doesn't know how to balance a budget in a game he's been playing for 8 years. Oh my God. Apart from fixing the game, what would you do in CS2? Okay, so hold on. Apart from fixing the game, what would you do with CS2 if in charge, and what DLC would you design? So DLC, I think, is a tough second question that I honestly would want to whiteboard. I would want to take some real time thinking about that. I can tell you one of the things that I think the core game needs two main things in my opinion. One is the game is not fun. I personally don't like the speed of the progression, the speed that people move in, the speed that you unlock things with that new skill point system. You can eventually unlock everything. But it's interesting in a way where Cities 1 kind of forced you down this path. And not like, oh, what do you want to upgrade now? Your education or your hospital? Like, no, you got to this milestone. You need a hospital now. You got to this milestone. You can have subways now. Like it was more inherent, the growth of a city. And now you can kind of go any which way, which is interesting from a freedom standpoint. But the more freedom you put in it, I don't know. The game isn't as fun. Like, I don't care about my city growing. I don't care about you know what? They overreacted on like we need an XP sound notification. Like, we need that, auditory dopamine hit. It's like, no, it was fine. You did fine on the last one. You didn't need to drastically change the game of it. I think we needed a better platform. We needed an update. We needed better performance. And you gave us a better looking platform and technically, but like you sucked all the color and life and art style out of it. Look at how colorful Remastered is even at night. And think about how gray and drab and depressing Cities 2 is out of the box. Now, I'm sure some creators, when they're doing their cinematics at the start of the end of the episode, sunlight, golden hour, beautiful things can happen. But spend an hour building a city in CS, spend an hour building a city in CS2. And I think, one, you're going to have more fun in CS1. I know I am. And also, I can throw it on this random camera mode and like fly around my city. And it's little things like that you can't do in CS2. They forgot the assignment. When you're looking at a sequel, you're building off of what you did before. And they should have looked at it in a way of building off of what the community did before. Because why was the first game so successful? Because of how the community continued to support it. The mods, sure, but even on console, like some things eventually got built into the game, little tools and ways of doing things, not quite to the extent that you would want. But when they sat down and started marketing CS2, they said, okay, what were all the things that people didn't like? In fact, let me call this up. Cities Skylines official YouTube. Okay. So if we look back at their videos around release, what were they saying? So the first video, remember they did like the dev diary videos? Road Tools was the perfect thing to go first because in my opinion, it was the best improvement over CS1. It was a little bit of anarchy. They built a little bit of that anarchy mod in there where you didn't have the same rules about intersecting roads. Like, want to go through 10 roads? Go through 10 roads. Little things like that. Very cool how the road tools were updated. You could do grids and stuff, but like the grid was so messed up in CS2 that like, I just want to manually do it anyways because you're either going to build 10 blocks of inappropriate grids that don't link zoning correctly or I'll fix it manually. The second video they did was traffic AI. And I think they were trying to market in a way where like, hey, we're listening. All those things that you thought were broken in the last one or all those things that you relied on mods, like that's the top of our priorities, traffic AI. And meanwhile, you had like a no left or no right stop sign that you could put in. And everybody still wanted traffic. Traffic is the name of the mod, Traffic Manager President Edition in CS1. Now it's just called Traffic. Such a popular mod that it became a target for malware, unfortunately. I don't know how anyone. Well, actually, I think I could guess now, and this is a guess. It's speculation. I'm going to do a more in-depth video soon. Like, how could people at CO not know? But it might have just been incompetence, honestly. Like, somebody in marketing knew. Like, road tools are important. Traffic AI is important. Public transport and cargo is important. Those were the first things that they previewed. Those are the first things that have, anarchy and traffic manager and improved transit mods. Like, marketing knew what they needed to improve and what they needed to build on. There was a video on climate and seasons, but they don't give you the ability to control it. There was a video on game progression, but like, again, I think the game progression is just not fun. So like, I think the game needs an agonizing rebuild from the bottom up. Just simply like fixing some of the things and porting over that to console isn't going to do what they want to do. It's not going to make this a worthwhile platform to invest in and go spend $400 worth of DLC, which is long-term what they want you to do. They want to bring the whales back in and get everybody happy to be buying stuff. But if it's sitting on this kind of bland game, like, I think they need to do a lot to improve the underlying game under the hood. And sorry, long way to answer that is they need to build more of the core things that mods improve into their game. Like, stop moving on to the next thing. Like, it's awesome that mod makers do that stuff, but you're telling the community that you're still working on the console game and that you're going to release a console game, except that console game without mods sucks. So what are you wasting all this development time on and getting people? God, I hope we are more reserved on the hype train this time around, having seen Cities 2, what it can do. Hopefully we're not getting super excited about Cities 2 on console. Some people are, I'm sure. But I'm thinking of it from the perspective of it won't support mods, and how much do they leave to the community for mods to fix? So one of the biggest things the new devs can do is really kick it into gear and really look at how are modders fixing the game, and stop worrying about the next bit of platform to sell us more DLC and start building those improvements and fixes into the actual game. Stop making it dependent on a third-party modder. Stop making it dependent on an external source of code that did get hit with malware and did infect your player base because they're relying on the community to fix your game instead of you fixing it yourself. I hope that the rot is gone with Colossal Order being out of the picture, because they have been inept and incapable of delivering on what they were trying to do. How much of that is pressure to deliver the next big thing from Paradox? I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever be able to say. But if you happen to work at Colossal Order and would like to share information in a completely anonymous way, feel free to reach out. Okay, sorry. I ranted for a bit there. My head's not spinning anymore. So let me scroll back up a bit. The bigger question is, can these new developers even handle a game like Cities 2 and give it what it needs? I don't think so. I did a PowerPoint, 120 slide PowerPoint for my last rant when I was talking about that. And we took a look at the games that those devs had done, and Surviving the Aftermath is somewhat relevant, but much smaller scale in terms of the simulation. They had also done a really poorly reviewed overhead racing game. It was like 60% on Steam, mixed. There was a pool game like billiards, and that was 46% on Steam. And then there was a fishing game that I'm on Android, so when I went to click the Google Play Store link to see what it's all about, it was a broken Google Play Store link. Like, they couldn't even update the website on the day that everybody was going there, like, to find out who they are. Like, here's this big news. Here's a broken website with old links to a crappy ice fishing game that you play on a touchscreen, and it doesn't exist anymore. It's well rated on Steam, ironically. I don't know what the deal is, but good for them, I guess. It doesn't give me a lot of faith that is the team that we need to fix this. But who knows? Firmly believe that CO dropped the ball and PDX didn't exactly make it easy on them. CO needed more time with a new version. Unity management wasn't good. Yeah, and I really want to know, like, what broke down there. I'm so confused with this whole chain of events, because part of me looks back on the last 2 years of lack of movement and wonders, like, was CO just checked out? Like, did they not want to do Cities anymore? Or did they feel, you know what? Think about it this way. I'm assuming most of you that are in here listening to me rant at 11:30 at night about Cities on console, no less, in 2025, may have been playing the game for a while. There's a good chance. Think back to 2023. Everyone was playing CS1, and then all of a sudden Remastered got announced, and it came out a month later, and it was kind of broken, but the console community got excited. And then, like, oh, you wanted our money for Remastered because we're announcing CS2, and who's going to buy Remastered? Well, don't worry, it'll be 2 years to buy it because they're never releasing the console version. But, like, do you remember that, like, vacuum that sucked all the life out of the community? And it was just like, I like CS1 better, you're an idiot. I like CS2 better, you're an idiot. This game sucks, your game sucks, you suck. The dev sucks, I'm mad, I want my money back. Like, you're just a baby. Like, and it dropped the views across, like, people were ready to move on to 2 sucked, so they were done. And, like, the number of players went down across both games, the number of viewers on streams, on videos, like, the community just totally retracted and receded from the game. And imagine you as a dev, you know, you push the game out and it gets this really, at best, mixed reception. And then you push out another update and it breaks other things and more mixed reception. And then you delay your DLC and you push out Beach Update, the beach assets with 4 palm trees and the worst rated thing on Steam ever. So hide it and bury it in the base game and push the timetable of all the other DLCs back because we have to give people things. So we'll give them content creator packs that the community made that we didn't even put any money into. We're just like, hey, make some stuff for us while we're trying to fix the game. But they're not fixing the game in the background because it's still broken. Like 2 years later, it's the ineptitude is amazing. And I wonder how far back some of the people were checked out, because they were just like, I don't even care anymore. People don't like the game. Why am I gonna keep busting my balls for it? Especially if that's the results that they're getting. So sorry, I was terrible about chat, and I tried to scroll back a little bit, and if I miss something you want me to comment on, please don't feel free to tag me and repeat your comment. I'm more than happy. It's just hard for me to keep up with chat sometimes. I'm bad at it. Especially when I'm ranting, I get tunnel vision and heat stroke. I don't know. Some of us are chatting, and by all means, chat with one another too. Like if you're just chatting, like that's cool too. Just the general converse. But if I did miss anything, I don't mind if you at me and repeat your question. So, or comment or whatever. I'm down. Okay, we've been running at night for a while. We're gonna check the budget. Are we ready, everybody? 372.5. Let's go into daytime and turn our electricity budget down as a result, and make even more money. How are we doing? Has the death wave settled down? No, it's still a thing. We still are. Oh my God! Imagine if the death wave ever settles down, and we can turn our medical budget back. Oh, you know what I didn't do though? Wait, hold on. We got to go back to nighttime. Hold on a second. Because we didn't get a really good look at the skyscrapers and the sunset over the park. This is what I worked on last time, is the skyline there. I don't know if I like I'm not crazy about the observation tower or whatever it is, the Pearl Tower. Any news on console release CS2? No. So what we do know is that the team from Ice Flake Studios that is going to be taking over officially as of the start of the year has started poking into the code. We don't really have any idea of how deep, how much they've touched it, just that they are responsible as of January 1st going forward, but also they're in the same town as CO. We know how holiday vacations are in Europe. I am jealous. We actually got lucky that Christmas is on a Thursday this year because they gave us Friday as well. They don't usually do that. Usually you only get Christmas Day, but you get 2 days for Thanksgiving. Important because, sure, you get the family holiday, but they'll give you a day off to go spend on money in the economy. That's just like, that's a given. You can't stop people from spending money. Federal holiday. Now I know budget is still not good, as it could be. Massive gaping hemorrhaging medical budget. Well, yeah, I mean that is part of it right now, but we were troubleshooting around that and we're still making money. So imagine if I spam a few more cemeteries around, we might be in decent shape. City Skylines movie from the point of view of a sim, randomly changing time and day. Roads changing every second. Your house being deleted. Oh my God, I love it. Oh my God, I love it. I might be able to do something like that. I could figure something like that out. We'll have to make the when you're down in first person and like make the bulldozer sound super deep and overbearing. Well, we fixed some budgetary issues tonight. That is awesome. I really appreciate that, everybody. We will probably wrap up here in a few minutes just because it is almost midnight. I do have QBR, is a busy day at work tomorrow. So that should be fun. Hey, you're here. You're in chat. You're active. What do you want to see from the next build? I'm picking everybody's brains. I might do New Boston, and I was debating snow or regular. I think we're going to go regular. But there might be a New Boston-based build with potentially some history documentaries separate behind it. That'd be more B-roll rather than actual City Skylines footage, though. I want to actually tell the story of the history of Boston streets. I've got a bunch of chapters already written, a lot of ideas on B-roll. I lost a project that I was working on when I upgraded to Windows 11, unfortunately. But New Boston is one that I want to do. I want to potentially go revisit a remastered go revisit a remastered. Go revisit a 9-tile city that I did on a previous build and build a remastered version of it. The one that makes the most sense to me is Plainville, because it also is one that, like, I think people really resonated with. I uninstalled all the DLC and we went through base game, built the city up, and then spent like an episode or two adding each DLC back in to kind of see how it impacts the city and the fun you can have with it. It might be fun to explore that on 25 tile again. Be along for the ride for whatever. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Happy to be able to jump into stream. I usually stream, when I stream, 9 p.m. Eastern. Lots of Fridays and Saturdays. I do Mondays a fair amount. But it does depend. It's not, you know, it's not my full time. Do I still have my first city? Are you ready for the ugliness of my first city? Let me save this before I forget. And let me save my backup slot too, because it's been enough time since I've done a backup save. If you're on console, and I think to some extent it works on PC, you can, wherever your camera is, including in the cinematic free mode, if you pause and save from there, your shot will be of that. Versus like, if you're doing other stuff, like see how I have my UI up on this save? You can put your UI away and then save the game if you want a cool little picture in the thumbnail there. Just a little bonus tip and trick. City Skylines Xbox One Edition. I do have Forbidden Cities. If certain companies ever go out of business, we can talk about those at some point. I don't know. Load game. What's the oldest city I have? Rockdale, probably. Hasn't been loaded since 2019. Hasn't been saved since 2019. Is that the oldest in terms of save? It is. And it was technically my season 1. I don't think... Springwood was before that. Springwood was from a tutorial before I did my Rockdale Let's Play. So this is technically my oldest city. Are you ready for 6-lane roads everywhere? Well, you better be. Okay, we'll check out Rockdale too. We'll pop into these. We'll do a little. These load so much faster. Oh my God. These load so much faster. So I did come back and build a stack interchange. This build actually I think might still work. My stack interchange does not. This is a build that was modified by Kanga, one of my mods. And I think she still has a video up on her channel. But with the underpasses, I think this one still works. I had a slightly tighter one that did everything above ground, and it doesn't work anymore in Remastered. Lots of 6-lane roads. Yes, get ready for that. So I've remodeled some of this. Like, this is new. This has changed. This is actually updated. So I had all 6-lane roads. Now there's a 6-lane road outlining it. This neighborhood, if you will. And then there's a bunch of 2-lane roads alternating coming through. There's parks, there's separation. I tried to like revive and make my old city look a little better. I am going to turn the camera around now. And you are going to be nice. You're not going to be mean. You're going to be nice about what a city builder was doing, his first city on console back in 2017 with very little help, and he was trying to record videos and be nice and share information with the community. Oh my God. Oh my God. 6 lanes everywhere. Every road is 6-lane. Every road has a traffic light. Traffic lights everywhere. What is traffic in this city? It can't. Oh! my God. 57. Oh! Look how beautiful this roundabout is. These trees must burn so good. I haven't seen a fire here in like 5 years, 6 years. At least it isn't spaghetti. There's probably some spaghetti. Hold on, we'll find some spaghetti. We'll find some spaghetti. I'm sure that I did that jokingly. Honestly, I can't imagine. No, I can't imagine. Never mind. I take it back. I can't imagine. The Gherkin? More 6-lane roads? Six lane industry? Send us to If he could do console, that would be kind of fun. Look at these roads. Look at it. European houses everywhere. 6-lane roads everywhere. Diamond interchange highways with insta-connects. Oh my God. Okay. This was saved in 2019, but it was honestly built in 2017. And I came back, I was like, oh, I'm gonna start remodeling it and fixing it. Like, no, I don't have the patience. This is way too much work. So that's the oldest city that I have a save of. My first season of Let's Play was Rockdale. And this one has a lot of 6-lane roads. The other problem this has is like, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna build up to the edge of the map. And there's like a city block that just runs the entire edge of the map. How often these live streams happen? Because I miss most of them. Not gonna lie, but I really enjoy it. Oh, I appreciate that. So, often Fridays and Saturdays, sometimes Mondays, and honestly, any random night. I do try and announce big ones ahead of time, but sometimes not. If you want to find out, Discord's a good place. I have a very small, very quiet Discord, but if you want to join, find out about streams, or just like say like, hey, you streaming tonight? That's the first place to find out usually. tinyurl.com/movethemouse if you want to join. Time difference and all, yeah, they're on. You can always watch the replays back. I have been predominantly, or I should say primarily, producing. I've been streaming. I've been doing very little on the video front, but I do have a couple videos I want to get to. 6-lane roads everywhere. Again. I shouldn't say that. There's a lot of 6-lane roads, but then the neighborhoods themselves have a lot of 2-lane roads coming through them. And those are bike lanes, yes. Bike traffic. What's the traffic going to be like on this city? I'll let you. I'm going to fly around and I'm going to show you the structure. It's so bad. Oh my God. There's little bits like, and I remember like when I made the camera angles at the end, like I found a way to like make some cool shots and camera angles. Like there are some little things that are like, they're okay if they're done from the right spot, but my God, they are atrocious if you view them from other angles. What are we gonna guess for traffic here? Oh, this is one of my favorites, is this little ripcord, this little zip system. So you have all this industrial traffic. This is a lot of industrial traffic happening here. All the train traffic coming in, like everything industry on the map is here. And because the highway exits alternate left and right, it's a really stupid way to get them to not pile up behind each other. Even though everybody's exiting left, there's somebody exiting right. But you can do little things like stupid little tricks like that we were starting to pick up on. Look at the train network. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my yikes. Infinite yikes. Absolutely infinite yikes. Before elevated train stations were a thing, I wanted to have a little elevated train coming into the town, but then you had to put it down to go to the station. Cloverleaf right in the middle of my downtown. Okay, do we get throw your numbers out. Guess the traffic. 110,000. I'll show you a couple intersections. You guess the traffic. Here, you know what? No, here. Camera. Camera for like 60 seconds, throw out your number, guess your traffic. Assuming that, I'm going to assume it's going to be better than 57. That had to be the worst. We got 65 from Comic, okay. Let's see. We'll give it a minute. Like this looks perfectly fine. I may have figured out some tricks. There's just a residential neighborhood, it's farmland, a little dump on the side. There was no industries in this. There was no park life in this. It would either be fun to come back. Why is there a tiny little residential house next to those giant office buildings? What is that zoning, mouse? We're getting some 70s for traffic. You have faith in me. 57, there we go, KVN. That's more like it. Not the random dump just on its own. Sometimes, that's what I love about cinematic camera. Like, it can be so awesome. It can also reveal... It's a great way that I was actually designing Riverrun for a while, because I was like, what's really bugging me the most? Nothing. It's good enough here and there. And then I would let the cinematic camera run for like 5 minutes until I saw something that was like, oh my God, that's ugly. And just go work on that thing. It's kind of a cool way to just like pick a random thing when you can't decide what to do. Cinematic camera until you see something you don't like that bugs you enough that you want to go fix that thing now instead. Okay, traffic. Here we go. We got our guesses in. $75. Zeth was 72. Jason was 79. Both very close. Man, this is just an industrial area. Tiny little residential houses next to commercial, next to big offices. Mouse, what? Like... And that's the thing, like, at the time, I was very much designing from, like, one little thing at a time and not big picture stuff. And, like, this just doesn't make any sense. Okay, so I am not sure what I regret more, building this in the first place or showing it to you in 2025. After Rockdale... There was a little city called Santa Rica. And was it actually, I'm trying to think of the name. So that it's an auto-generated name, but it was misgendered. So Santa Rica, San Rico. And I think the name it generated was San Rica or Santa Rico. Santa Rico. Santa Rico. It was backwards. And we eventually changed it. But this was my season 2, which also became my season 3. Green Cities had come out, and I made a bit of a Green Cities build. This one, so I'm starting, like, this is the start. You can see the development, where before we had like tiny houses next to big houses. Now we at least have a highway in the way. And I wanted to, like, my whole idea was like, not that it's thematically correct, but I was kind of thinking about the Boston area here, and I spent a lot of time in Malden and Medford as a kid, which is like just on the hills outside of where you can see the city. So like as you come into like the Malden Medford area on the highway from the north, you start to see the buildings over the horizon. And that's kind of what I wanted this to feel like. Like, yeah, we're in a neighborhood, but also there's a big city over there on the other side of the highway, but it should have been a little further away. And this is just so much concentration. And I didn't, do anything to high-rise limit or stack it up. We just like crammed everything in there. It's a very dense city. It's only 156,000, which is kind of surprising. But as you can see here, I wouldn't rate the traffic too high on this one because of the copious use of cloverleafs here. I'm gonna guess in the 60s on this one. This one could be pretty bad. Oh my God, look at this exit. Who has one of these in their city? Now that's what I call sprawl. Santa Rica's thumbnail is wild. I didn't even see what it was. What is it? Just a mess. This is okay. So, and here, like, look at the size of this. This is insane infrastructure. But hear me out. Season 2 of the Let's Play, 2018, I think. Beginning builder, no mods. Doing this, you know, as an amateur on YouTube. I forget when I turned on monetization. It was a long time ago, but like, what am I doing here? I'm doing 2 highways with a roundabout in the middle, and I was just about to pull up the DLC. I don't know if we have. Do we not have map pack 4 intersections? Oh, I have double radio playing again. Dang it. Yeah, why do I own one? Oh, maybe because I never manually downloaded. I never rebooted the game after. I was going to say Map Pack 4 has this same thing you can pay for, which is an intersection, which is 2 highways with a roundabout in the middle, but it's much smaller and much more claustrophobic and congestion inducing. But my point is like, this is what an idiot dad was doing in 2018, and they're selling it to you in 2025. So, you know. Go back and look on the cringe, but don't worry, you can pay for this level of cringe now in an official download pack from Paradox. Okay, this was my season 2. Season 3, we introduced natural disasters and blew this place to hell. We actually tried to survive it, and where is it? I think it was this one right here. This is one of the emergency shelters. So the story was, like, I did Let's Play Season 2. It was this town. And then once we built it all up, I turned up the frequency of the random disasters. And it was too slow. So I was like, okay, we're going to rando roll 9 different disasters and drop 3 per episode. And we did that. And I built out the evacuation routes and the shelters and all this stuff. And we called these random things in, and I called an earthquake like dead center in the middle of a zone. And I was like, okay, everybody evacuate. So everybody ran to the shelter, and then the earthquake cracked the shelter and collapsed the shelter and killed everybody in it. It was a very sad day. So now, if you didn't know, there's almost always a disaster monument in every single one of my cities, and it makes reference to the Santa Rica. I forget the date. I should know it. I should know the date, but it's documented multiple places on the channel, in the comments, in the pins, in the name of the monument on other cities. They are all, pretty much every city has a monument to this disaster specifically, because in trying to save people, we sent them to a shelter that collapsed in an earthquake. Very sad day. Okay. After Santa Rica would have been Springdale. Springdale was season 4. And this was one that I started building, well, I mean, I might have been able to, I didn't really ask. I didn't tell anybody. I was working on a city, and I wanted to have a big, what do you call it? Big central park in the center, because I was collaborating with Paradox to do content for, over here, to do content for Park Life release on console. So I did kind of a Central Park thing, and it looks a little weird from up top, but the nice thing about console is like we can get down here. So like I actually went on a walk, you know, through the park. I don't think I was the old lady to do it, but it feels Central Parky, you know what I mean? Like there's a massive wall of skyscrapers around you, but also this very large nature reserve essentially in the middle of your city. And for those of you that know the Central Park layout, there is the original in-game zoo asset and modern art museum, and then some different things all spaced through there, kind of natural flowing pathways. which again, from overhead, don't necessarily look ultra impressive, but it very much feels the part when you're down there on foot. Surprised at how much of the city can get hidden? Yeah, like it is. There's some really interesting design by it because of the way the hills flow and the tree cover, of course. There's some massive buildings, but like Central Park is a really interesting thing. For those of you that don't know, Boston Common specifically in Boston, Massachusetts, is the first park in the United States. Nowhere near the size of Central Park, but there is a very similar principle in Boston. Where is it? Can I drag this into the stream? Let me see. Because I found this today. I was doing some research. Today. Save as. Hold on a second. This is just kind of cool. Downloads. Sure. Give me 2 seconds. So, Boston Common, again, oldest park in the United States. There is also a residential area nearby, and they essentially like made it one big long park. So although Boston doesn't have a massive space like a Central Park, it does have basically a way to walk on grass, except for crossing streets, a way to walk on grass like the entire way across the city. It runs through the fens, and they've done a bunch of park paths and bike paths, and there's nature. So like you can walk practically from one side of the peninsula to the other, through a very thin part. It doesn't do anything like Central Park to kind of hide the city behind the scenes, but it is kind of nice to see, this nonstop flow of nature through. And that was designed back in the 1880s. So I've got a bunch of old survey images and stuff like that I'm putting together for a documentary on Boston, which will not be cities Skylines based, like an actual documentary about the city streets of Boston, the history, the economy. Maybe it's your thing. Subscribe if you want to stick around and see more of that kind of stuff. That's a long-term project though. I lost a bunch of work that I did on that, unfortunately, which is sad. We'll run the cinematic camera around here for a bit. I don't know if anybody's been around long enough. Does anyone know what it was after season 4? And I guess you could say season 5, but the next build was a snowfall build. And it would have been what? I was doing like literally seasons were seasons. So like it would have been just a couple months after I started the other one. And what was it? It was 2019? 2018 going into 2019 maybe, and it was a snowfall map called Winterfell. And again, I think there were some cool things on that, but not. Again, looking back at it, like if you zoom out, it looks like crap. If you zoom in the right spots, like it was a let's play, and we did all these little things. And I think at the time, like there was some okay stuff, but looking back, I'm sure that the intersections were absolutely atrocious. I'm sure there's going to be some tangled spaghetti, some infrastructure that does not need to be there. There may be up in the north of the map. Oh no, I got rid of it. Okay, I had expanded a bunch up there. It's all right. There's a flow to it. There's a big industrial spot over here. Did I trim this way back? I must have come in here to trim all this stuff back because it's considerably different from where I remember leaving it on this series. So I've definitely come back to play here and come in to do a stack interchange apparently. It's a very rigid one, but it works. Okay, thanks, you're off. Appreciate you tuning in. 5 a.m. Oh my God, get some sleep. And thank you for hanging out. Amazing community, subscribe, can't wait. I will be streaming for sure at some random times over the holiday weekend. Here in the US, we're off Thursday, Friday, so there'll probably be some Jackbox streams this weekend, I would guess. We'll play some games together, and you can always hop in the audience and have some fun there. But have a good evening. Get some sleep for real. It's late or early, depending on your perspective. So lots of growth. Wood Garden was after that. That was Industries. And then season 7, I did Portsmouth on PC. Season 8 was Grand Lakes. Grand Lakes University, that was for campus. Grand Lakes University is the name of the university in Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield, Sam Kinison. Trying to think who else. Great movie, 1985. Oh, Robert Downey Jr., very early Robert Downey Jr. role. But anyways, I use that as a reference. That was season 8. Season 9 must have been Swampscott, which is the name of an actual town in Massachusetts. It's better than it sounds. And I think 10 was Rosewood. It's just a blur. There's just so many builds. But they have gotten better, I will say. There's less questionable stuff the further you go into the portfolio. But there's definitely still stuff. Like this. I just never cared to go back and fix this. It functioned. I was like, okay. But this one, right? This is trolley bus lines. Where I don't even know. This is a big mess. This is a big mess. Terrible mess. Oh my God. I hear about messed up sleep schedules. Mine goes all over the place. I talk a lot about some of my problems. I am ADHD, so ADHD with autism, and also bipolar 2. So my God, I can get on really unhealthy sleep schedules very easily for like any one of those conditions. And sometimes they all work in tandem to like really, really mess up my sleep schedule. Seeing all the cities is really nostalgic. Makes you want to play cities again. You should. I will say, like, I play a lot of shooters. I've been playing a lot of Surrounded. Surrounded is actually pretty chill. And I still play Star Wars Battlefront 2 from like, what, 2018. It can be pretty chill. I'm good, and unless I get on a really shitty team against some trolls, like I can have a fine time with it no matter what. But like there is something completely different about playing cities that is just so relaxing for the most part. I actually came into tonight because of the problems that I was having in my cities. A little tense because I was like, I couldn't figure out like how do we get this thing making money again. We looked at that earlier. Yeah, I really want to go back and potentially remaster some of these and pretend like they didn't exist. Or use my own tutorials and follow them and then pick up from where I left off. I don't even know. 95% of the time my game is Minecraft. I get that too. I go on wicked Minecraft kicks. Like I can put in a couple hundred hours, maybe 1,000 hours in a month or two in Minecraft. Like just, it is my game nonstop. It is all I want to do. And then I won't touch it for 3 months. And then I'll just be like, something will happen and it'll go back. I mean, I just mentioned like it's part of it's the bipolar mood swings, but it comes with different wants in creativity and outlets in lots of different ways. And I find that it definitely ebbs and flows what games I end up playing as a result. Helps prevent burnout too, to not like all jump into the same thing. Take breaks from it. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Well, there you go. Like, so you took a break from CS. Now it's time to go play again, KVN. Me and my partner both have autism and she's got ADHD. Yeah, so you know, like sleep is not one of our superpowers. Healthy sleep habits is not an ADHD or superpower. You see little intersections like that, and like it was like, oh, there's a little bit of care went into that. But then the next camera shot will be, yeah. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not amazing. That little T intersection over there. And then there's just a U-turn on the road on a highway. What is going on? What is this highway that's just U-turning there in the bottom right? Why? Okay, 12:15. Let's get some cinematics and just officially say whether or not we fixed our city. I think we did. We're making money again. 372.5, 372. Yeah. 578. Can we see a 6 in that fourth digit? 3 times speed. Daytime. Less electricity budget. Okay. Well, I'd say tonight was a successful. It's not, you know what? It's not dropping as fast as it was at the very least, but I think it is actually increasing, just very slow. And it goes up and down, and that is fine. I'd like to make $1 billion, but at the very least, I am content knowing that we are not slowly losing money. Because losing a bunch of money over time is definitely not the way to get to $1 billion. But we'll figure it out. More builds coming soon. Stay tuned. What do we got? So maybe New Boston might be the next big build. Maybe a remastered revisit of an old 9-tile city and trying to do a better job at the map or some of the concepts or ideas. I think it's gonna be New Boston, honestly. I just gotta get shit or get off the pot, they say, and I gotta get off the pot. I gotta shit. Not IRL. The city of New Boston needs to be pooped out into something creative. And I've just been waiting for like the perfect storm to do this multi-part documentary / coinciding city build. And just like, I'm just going to go do the city build and just do it however, and have some fun with it and share it. And then separately work on where I'm going to put the production effort into, which is going to be the documentary. And again, I've written so much stuff for that. There's a lot of work that's gone into it already. A lot of old maps and images and history. And there's a particularly amazing story to tell in Boston. If you've never seen Boston streets, look it up on a map. Like, they are a mess. And they are a mess because it was a tiny little square mile peninsula that needed more land, so they put more dirt and built a couple roads. And when it needed more land, they put down some more dirt and a couple roads. And they just did that hundreds of times without any consideration for where the last roads were or the next roads would go. And you end up with an absolute mess of infrastructure. There's some amazing things about Boston. It was the largest city in the 13 colonies for over 100 years. And it was laid out in the 1620s. So they were definitely at a disadvantage from a planning perspective, where most of the grid work for Baltimore and Philadelphia was done in the late, say, 1680s, 1700s. I want to say Manhattan was 1700s or 1800s, right? It was the main grid of Manhattan was much, like, maybe 200 years after. I have it in my script somewhere. But anyways, camera, slow down. You're making me sick. Okay. Anyways, there's going to be a lot of stuff coming. And I think New Boston is a part of that. But there's going to be other games and other nonsense and lots of live streams and the occasional video. And this is the place to see it. So thank you, everybody, for hanging out and chilling tonight. I really appreciate it. There will be more cities for sure. I'm really glad we got this problem solved. I can keep slowly grinding and growing the city. I will try not to make any major changes. And we'll see. Maybe a slow climb to $1 billion. At the very least, a climb to a more finished version of the city, filling in some of the spots, until we can sit back and watch this cinematic camera and never see anything that we want to change. Just be happy with it all. Maybe someday that will be true. I would be wanting to fix this traffic right now, though, if I wasn't ending the stream. So we'll just pretend like we didn't see that. It's fine. There's no traffic. There's no problems.
Everybody's cool at the penitentiary. They're all in there for voluntary reasons. There's no crime. Bunch of prisoners just got off work release apparently. It's all white collar crime. Trying to cook the books on today's episode, but hey, we're making money now, so they did it. They're just going to jail for it. But hey, that's tax evasion. So thank you everybody for tuning in, whatever time it is. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day or weekend or evening. I hope you get some sleep and some rest. I hope you play some great games and have some fun. And I hope you come back and check out a stream or a video. Again, live streams 9 p.m. Eastern usually. I'll call it quits late here on the East Coast. Thank you so much, everybody. One more time, subscribe if you are new, and I'll catch you in the next one. Leave a like. It helps the channel and is greatly appreciated. And until next time, this is Move the Mouse signing off. I'm going to fade it out after the next song. I'll leave you with a couple cinematics, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Appreciate you. Take care of yourselves. Seriously. Go hydrate. Get some rest. Pet your dog. Call a loved one. Go build the city. Enjoy yourselves. Bye, everybody. Wrong emote, but whatever, you know. That one. One more song, and then I'll fade it out. Good night, everybody.